The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping.
Stutter! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. This program starts now. Football is awesome, and obviously I'm super fashionable today. Okay, this is a camouflage shirt that my wife got me for Christmas. I'm a 37-year-old. This seems like a midlife crisis on your screen, but it was the only shirt I had in the office. I don't love it, but here we are. Also, take a look at this snowy cityscape here of Indianapolis, Indiana, created by AI and Zeet collab. I want to let you know it's cold as the Dickens here in the Midwest. We hope you are A-OK. Obviously, out there in California, T's and P's for everything you have going on. Still, I believe there's another gust of wind coming through. We couldn't fathom the devastation that's taking place over there. We will continue to try to be the distraction on the screen, the doofuses who will hopefully try to lighten up your day a little bit. Today, J.J. Watt will be joining us, Dahn Orlovsky will be joining us, and Keith Cosrow, who is a Yinzer who's been working at NFL Films for 25 plus years, will be joining us in the third hour on YouTube, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus.
Yeah. And 3 more days.
Yeah. TikTok Live.
Drink it in.
I don't want to say we were ahead of this. And people that have followed the program for a long time, okay, started in 2017 when I retired. We were ahead of a lot of things, world news things, okay? We talked about Jim Kong a lot. People thought we were just making things up, and then all of a sudden, guess who shot an 18 on a golf course?
Yeah. R.I.P.I.P.
Jim Kong. Made a whole song about it. Nobody's talking about this guy. He's a menace. There's a little bit going on over here. We called the first upset of the 2020 election, what was going to happen, because we had been following the tea leaves. And we have been the only program that has been openly saying, hey, they need to figure it out with TikTok. TikTok is going to end this Sunday, allegedly.
Whoa. Done?
China, who owns it, which has been a big part of the problem, I guess.
Sure.
And this entire thing, if you've been paying attention to it. They said, we'll shut it down. We got no problems. And then Mr. Wonderful said, I'll buy it. And we said, okay, Mr. Wonderful, where the fuck are you finding $60 billion from? I'm sure you'd be able to figure it out. He drops off. Elon potentially, I guess he's out. We need Bezos or one of these big money Americans.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Elon isn't American. You get it. But we need somebody big money that's associated with the United States of America to buy this thing. And this might just be a leverage play by China with TikTok. But they're saying they're shutting this thing down on Sunday. They're shutting it down. So to our TikTok live crew, a record-breaking day yesterday. It's been fun.
True honor to talk as well.
It's been an honor. And obviously to talk, the man who edits all of our TikToks and has found a nice little career here.
Yes.
Lived a good little life.
Yep.
He's done on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's over.
Sharpening
Gonna have to fire him.
I know.
Guys losing jobs over here because of the entirety of it all. But let's enjoy it while we have talk still in the building.
Sure.
There's people talking about maybe just, not only just firing him, but
public
erasing him. Yeah. I don't think we should do that.
That seems a little. I mean, guillotine on the center of the stage.
See, that's what's being pitched by the Talks the Table. That's at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmidt. We won't be doing that. We will miss talk. He potentially just transitions into reels. A lot of transitions happening these days. He potentially transitions from talk into reels on Sunday, but that's TBD. In this entire thing. We would like to let TikTok know, don't shut it down. Don't shut it down. Let's keep it going, But let's also make sure it's in the right hands.
Yeah.
And who is in the right hands? Just saw Zuckerberg do an entire interview. Is that the right hand? I don't know, because the way things are going. Wild world, wild time to be alive. Lucky to be here. We just know TikTok is on its
last legs.
It is.
Yeah. Sad. On that.
Can't let China win.
Again.
Not even for a second.
Not for a second.
And that's what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
9-year NFL vet who wins all the time. Darius J. Butler's here.
Yes, sir.
D-Butch, I don't have the TikTok app on my phone.
I do not either.
I do not know how TikTok operates, but I do know our show's on TikTok. And I do know whenever I go around the country for college game day and they say, we watch your clips on TikTok. And once again, that's because of how talented Talk is. That guy's got 1 ear on the show, 1 ear on the edit. He's captioning every single word. I don't think he stops working for a 10-hour period straight. This guy's plugged in, dialed in all day. It's over.
Rest in peace.
I refuse to download it as well because I'm a rabbit hole type of guy. I feel like it's way too many rabbit holes on TikTok. Huge search engine too. A lot of people, kids, older folks, hey, I want to go on vacation here. I want to learn how to build this, learn how to take pictures. Let me look on TikTok. So it is a valuable place and space. I still think it's too big to fill.
Yeah, well, you've been saying that since the beginning.
Yep.
China said we'll shut it down. They said we'll shut it down.
We'll see.
And America said, yeah, go ahead. Shut it down. We don't care. You got our youth, huh? In the palm of your hands? That's what you think?
They do.
They do. Everybody's on that thing. And you said rabbit hole. From my understanding of watching dude, TikTok, it is just a rabbit. That's what it is. It is actually built to be a rabbit hole, one after another, after another, another, after another, after another. You look up, holy shit, China's got me locked in here for the last hour and a half.
Exactly. I'm Chinese now.
Speaking Mandarin.
That's what happens, yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it because I don't have, but that is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Foxy planned an entire honeymoon off of TikTok.
Yeah, I was planning on doing that again, but now I can't. So
another wedding? Whoa. What do you mean you're planning another honeymoon?
Oh, yeah, vacation. We got vacation coming up. I got to plan that.
Okay.
Another
honeymoon would mean another wedding, which we do not want. We've already had 2.
Well, if I say it's my honeymoon, then I can get a lot of free stuff, so I might do that, actually.
Yeah, always at the places you're going. It's either a birthday or a honeymoon, for sure.
Yes.
Even if it's just an added benefit of the chocolate strawberries.
Sure.
Or an extra robe or two. Certainly worthy of getting back something. So definitely a birthday trip or a honeymoon trip all the time. That's a nice little life hack there, Foxy.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I would say out of all the social media platforms, TikTok is definitely the friendliest to our program specifically.
Really? The program? They love the program over there on TikTok.
So positive, good vibes all the time.
Oh, we do get banned off there quickly. You mention something and all of a sudden your show's been taken down, or you piss off some people and they just attack it, report it, you get taken down. Like I think a lot of AR's fans went after us. Zaire's fans took us down. We'll piss off some people in certain companies. They'll attack our TikTok, report it, and they'll take us down. But TikTok's been good to us.
It has.
I don't know how it works, but it's been good to us. And we're appreciative of that. And I'm going to miss Talk around here.
I know.
Yeah, me too.
He's a good kid.
So a moment of silence for him. The most dialed-in editor in the history of editing. The only thing you ever heard from him was his loud-ass feet pummeling a treadmill at the end of a day after editing 45 TikToks and captioning them all. A couple of them will get sent through, and I go, nope, not doing that. And he goes, wow, thanks for wasting 35 minutes of my life. He doesn't care. Never bitches, never complains. Just continues to work. A robot in human form. Talk had a great run here. Talk, great work, buddy.
Gonna miss you, Talk.
Miss you, Talk.
Fall on his feet. Flat.
He will fall on his flat feet. That is something he will do. There's Talk right there. And it's time, isn't it? That's kind of apropos.
It is apropos.
That he was clock, because it is time. Talk is a Massachusetts legend. A Fairfield Stag.
Yeah.
An Emmy Award winner at his previous job. And for us, he was an absolute nuke on TikTok. Yeah. And I think it's because of the threat of nukes. Why? TikTok is going to stop.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which that AI photo, it's supposed to be snow, but through the camera, sure looks like Indy's taking one to the chin.
This is Indianapolis, Indiana, obviously, clearly. You can see it. A lot of buildings. There's more buildings than just these buildings, but that is it. The future's bright, not for Talk, but for everybody else.
Right.
Let's never forget that. Let's enjoy this life. 12-year NFL vet is here. Also a big TikToker, Super Bowl champion, AQ Shipley.
Actually just joined this year. I'm on TikTok.
You have TikTok on your phone?
Yeah.
See, they got you. That's
Yeah.
They got me.
They've been listening. They've been
it over?
following. That's potentially why you're getting whenever you get home.
Could be.
We don't know if that. AQ Shipley is a drunk driver accident survivor. Last week, correct?
That's correct.
I don't want to give away too much of your business.
Yeah.
You land back in Phoenix after doing your AQ in the trenches stuff here, and you're driving home.
That's right.
And some boozed up lady comes popping out of a bar, bam, smashes you. Airbags?
Airbags, front, gone, totaled, everything.
You're okay, though?
Stomach bruised beyond belief.
What do you mean, stomach? I don't think I understand what you mean. What do you mean?
Crazy.
It's bruised.
What do you mean it's bruised?
I thought it was airbag. These guys tell me it's seatbelt.
Oh, because you had your seatbelt on?
Yeah, I did.
You're a good guy.
How about that?
How about that booze bag lady trying to take you out?
Unbelievable.
Lucky it was you in an SUV. Could have been anybody else. In this stage, drunk driving done. Arizona, very, they don't treat drunk drivers well, right?
Oh, back. See ya.
Yeah,
back in the car. See ya.
Put her in a can and sent her into the sea.
Talk's doing the same thing here on Sunday.
That's right.
Let's talk some ball, shall we? Let's go to Hammer.
Dahn.
AP Tone, we're learning a lot about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Did you see the Mark Caboli report on X? Mark Caboli, who is a contributor to this particular program and the WWE. D-Bone makes his graphics for every one of his tweets that he writes out. I think he's done a great job kind of changing the local sports reporter game. Just posts on X, and the views that he's getting on some of these are hundreds of thousands, where maybe in the past it was just tens of thousands, whatever the case. More people are able to see the local reporting, which is a beautiful thing. The local reporters deserve to continue to exist. The local reporters, have a beat on the things that are going on, which is why they are beat reporters. Mark Caboli is certainly the first of many. I assume they'll be taking his talents strictly to X because there's no real length limit where you can just type up an entire article. In the article that he released yesterday, kind of surrounding and involving the Pittsburgh Steelers, he said reports surfaced during the year that offense coordinator Artie Smith preferred Fields over Wilson, but that was never substantiated, says Mark Caboli. Never substantiated. It was being talked about. There's rumblings. Still, despite Wilson and Smith spending countless hours together after the typical workday, watching film and publicly joking about it, team source says recently said that Wilson and Smith did not have a very good working relationship, but fought through their differences as best they could.
Whoa.
I thought these two were thick as thieves. Just yesterday we were talking about maybe Russ and Artie Smith going to a team together because of how much they are. Allegedly, their wives had to joke about how much time they're spending together instead of spending with the family. Now, Caboli's saying maybe they aren't getting along. Now, Artie Smith is interviewing for a couple head coaching jobs. Russell Wilson's a free agent. I'm seeing him work out. He looks unbelievable. He's back to work.
Oh, yeah.
He's back to work with Team 3.
Already?
He's back to work. He said, the grind never stops. New year, new season. Let's get back to work. What are your thoughts on everything that's kind of unfolding with this Pittsburgh Steelers team? Pickens, late to the Christmas game, amongst other things. Artie Smith, Russell Wilson, allegedly, potentially not on the same page. Justin Fields, obviously not as much like during the season, but now he's being spoke about a little bit more glowingly by people. Where do the Pittsburgh Steelers fall right now, and what are your thoughts on the future from your particular standpoint?
Obviously, things could be better. Things could be a lot better. They're not great right now because there's a lot of stuff coming out, and not a lot of it is good. The Artie Smith and Russell Wilson stuff wouldn't be super surprising to me. Artie Smith, a salt of the earth, mustachio man. Russell Wilson wears his own jersey, a lot. What? We know Russ. We know Team 3. He was great for us all season long. But, the oil and water type situation that could be between him and Artie Smith is not exactly surprising, but they are professionals, so they tried to work together. And Artie Smith spoke glowingly of Justin Fields all year, and Mike Tomlin was asked, did Justin Fields show enough that he could be the starter for this team next year? And Mike Tomlin said, absolutely. So if I'm reading the tea leaves, I would personally put my money on Justin Fields to be the potential starter for next year. One, I think he'll be cheaper in that situation, and he's much, much, much younger than Russell Wilson is, and we're trying to find the future. The George Pickens stuff, Mike Tomlin said he's got a lot of growing to do. I know a lot of Steelers fans wouldn't be sad if there's a lot of, hey, let's just trade GP and get this over with situations going around. We've had wide receivers in the past, Antonio Brown, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. There's becoming a bit of a trend in Pittsburgh with the wide receivers. While they are very good,
well, one of them Hall of Fame, the other one's not so much. So let's make sure we remember that.
Yes.
Everybody the Steelers fans, I think, bring up AB. It's like AB also best player on the football field.
Yeah. Yes.
These other guys not. Maybe George Pickens will become that with the amount of ability that he has and the amount of talent he has, but it hasn't happened just yet. Maybe it's the offense, maybe it's him, but I think you're willing to go through that with AB because it's like,
yes,
weapon.
This guy,
one of touchdowns.
This guy
worked his ass off too.
Yeah, at practice, it was a worker. That is what he's known. You don't become that great without all the work. It was just also, everything else kind of surrounding AB that Tomlin had to navigate and negotiate. Deontay Johnson, they're coming out saying this guy's the biggest bum that has ever come through the NFL. Wasted talent because of an attitude problem. He's been on 4 different teams in the last 8 months. He just got cut from a playoff team because after a win, he was potting about how many times he got the ball. You're new to the team, pal. You just got there. You guys just won the playoffs. Can't be pouting. D'Amico says, get the hell out of here to Deontay Johnson. And Chase Claypool, I mean, that first year he was great.
10 touchdowns.
Had a lot of other people on the field with him too, right?
Yeah.
At that time?
Yeah.
And then obviously he becomes a TikTok.
Yeah, fashion guy.
Juju, thanks.
Turned into a Chinese guy.
No, he's
much.
Canadian.
No, I know.
Canadian Chinese.
You're talking about TikTok taking him down.
Exactly.
That's maybe when Gallagher and the government said, we got to stop
This
TikTok.
needs to stop now.
It's taking down NFL players.
This was Gallagher's deal?
These guys are too busy. Well, if it's anti-China, it's Gallagher. Yeah. But these NFL guys are doing all this, doing the dances. We just want ball. TikTok's doing it. And then they started snooping around. They said, let's get him out of there. But to your point about the wide receivers at the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's like, how come it only happens there, seemingly, and doesn't happen everywhere else? I think it does happen everywhere else. The Steelers, though, just get amplified because they're always going to be in the playoffs, always going to win, and then they're going to fail. And then you start pointing out, what's the issues? Well, there's red flags here, there's red flags here, there's red flags here. Let's go to a 12-year NFL veteran, Super Bowl champion, former member of the Pittsburgh Steelers, actually drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers, if I do recall. AQ Shipley, back in your hometown of Pittsburgh. A lot of drama right now, saying there's going to be changes on all levels. What does that mean to you as somebody that's been around ball?
The biggest issue that Pittsburgh keeps doing is they just keep putting Band-Aids on things. They don't do a full wholesale change. So it's like, okay, we're going to take one person out, but nothing gets actually fixed. And it's constant over and over again. There's a quarterback issue there. So, okay, we're going to get rid of Russell. We're going to put Justin Fields back in. It's the same guy you had the first 5 weeks of the season you didn't feel comfortable with, so now we're going to go back. Now all of a sudden he's great. Now we're a playoff team. We're going to win playoff games. I just don't see that happening. Receiver-wise, you're relying on George Pickens. It's continuously the same problem over and over again. So how do we do that? We just put a Band-Aid on it. We just do that. Defensively, same stuff. We got issues. We got glaring issues, but we get a new defensive coordinator, or we'll fire a coach and we'll bring a new coach in. Again, put a Band-Aid on it. We never actually fix the problem.
But they're able to win in spite of all this, but not enough to actually win, but not enough losses to get a good draft pick. So
Correct.
It's like they're kind of stuck in this purgatory, which is why Yinzers are so pissed off.
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, it's constant. You go 8-9 or 9-8 or 10-7 or whatever it is, you're always going to be a 15 through 20 pick. You can't get a top-tier quarterback. You can't get exactly what you need to fix the program. And then we feel good about it because we're winning enough, but we're not winning the whole thing.
How's Mr. Ships? How's Pop feel about the whole thing?
He's over it. He's over it. He's throwing in the towel.
Oh, no.
But he doesn't mind living in his misery. He's still a Pirates fan, right?
He's looking forward to Pirate season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's right.
That's where he is.
Excuse me?
Yeah, and we're talking Yinzer fuck his dad. I mean, you're talking full on, just like Tim out there. And I think all Yinzers are feeling the same exact way. It's like, yeah, it's fun to be above 500. That's cool.
That sounds great.
We go over to Cleveland, drive over to the Mistake on a Lake. We say, how you guys doing? You guys stink. Look at us. We're above 500. That's basically what Steelers fans are done with.
That's right.
Not saying it's Mike Tomlin's issue either. This is an entire organization, program, tradition. Hopefully they're able to make some wholesale changes and actually make some changes and be able to get to the next step. Or all of them fail and they go way down the other way and then maybe some actual changes can take place. Nonetheless, I would love Mike Tomlin to be the coach of my team, which is, I think, what 28 teams are saying whenever they hear Steelers fans bitch about what's going on in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly. So for like a full reset, is that something where Tomlin would have to leave? I'm in the same boat where it's like, hey, just went through a terrible year. The last 2 years have been terrible. Would love to have above 500 Mike Tomlin, but obviously don't want to lose every year in the first round of the playoffs. Like, can you do wholesale changes while keeping the same head coach throughout, the last 10 years?
Yeah, sometimes I think you just need to separate. I think there's a point in time where sometimes it just wears out its welcome. He's a phenomenal football coach, but sometimes over time, the same guy in the same situation in the same building becomes stale, period. And it just becomes 10-7, and it just becomes what you are. I'm not saying that that's the answer, but that's what I feel. That is exactly what I feel. Sometimes it's okay, even when things are good or okay, to separate.
Yeah, and I think there's a freshness too. And whenever there's a void at the top, there's another need to kind of impress people. But to Connor's point, the grass is not always greener.
Usually never is.
Yeah.
And I get the whole new voice. That was kind of the thing we were spinning with Belichick. And when I say we, it was like people who wanted to keep Belichick, but still, it was too late. It's like, hey, maybe a new voice will help. And obviously it didn't, so that's why it's one of those things where, like, Belichick, at least his last year was 4-13, so it's like, hey, you can move on from a coach when you go 4-13, but with Pittsburgh, they're not losing.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a member of the Bull Ring of Honor down there for the Houston Texans, one of only 4 people, I do believe. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer whenever he's available. He's built like an avatar.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all forget just how big he is until he's in a photo with some normal-sized human being, and you go, Jesus Christ, what is this thing? Well, this thing is J.J. Watt.
Yay!
Hey, JJ, how you doing?
Hey, great. How you guys doing?
Hey, I heard we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers here as we wrap up, and obviously you have a tie to it. You have Familia over there for the Steelers, one of the pillars of that Pittsburgh Steelers team, and there's been a lot of chatter about the most expensive defense in ball is that Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and they weren't able to get the job done. And, the Ravens obviously do what they did to the Steelers in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on the entirety? I heard Teej say he needs to be more willing to do more. I think he took on some ownership in the failures. What are your thoughts on how the Steelers currently are set up for the future?
Yeah, I don't think there's any denying what happened at the end of the season. You lose 5 in a row while your direct division opponent goes on and wins 5 in a row and is headed looking like an absolute wagon headed into the next round of the playoffs. And very, very tough scene the other night. Obviously, the defense giving up that many yards, offense not really being able to move the ball. It's a tough situation, man. It's like everybody said. Everybody's kind of talked through it all already in the good enough but not good enough scenario, which puts you in a very difficult place. And that's just kind of where they are right now. And it's finding a way to break through that, finding a way to take that next step, figuring out why it's some of those end of the season, first round of the playoff failures, and what has created that. Is it something with the systems? Is it something with the way they do things, with the end of the year? What is it? I think that's the answers everybody inside and outside of that building is trying to find at the moment.
How long is TJ locked down for there with the Steelers? 3 more years?
No, he's got 1 year left on his deal, so it's...
oh, shit. Contract year for Teej next year?
Yeah, he looks like a very...
No, it's that kind of... there's only 1 left, so... He'd be a free agent after this coming season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Contract year. He's about to get 20 sacks next year. Let's assume TJ gets to the quarterback 20. Not that he wouldn't normally, but if there's how many times has TJ got to a contract year? Is this the second time now?
You ever go into the last year of a contract? I don't know many people that are going into the last year of a contract like that.
I got franchise tagged after my contract was over, but I did get a deal done before. You're saying
he'll get extended.
Okay, Tone, are you sure? There's a lot of problems. There's going to be changes at all levels, they said. Who's going to be making the change from Hammer, Dahn?
Teej is not one of those problems and does not need to do anything. He will get extended because he's a Steeler for life.
How much you paying him, Tone?
As much as he wants.
Remember, he kicked down the door. Get the deal done the last time. He was kind of sick of the meddling and the agent. I don't know.
I do think he knows, like he said, like you talked about, I do think that he knows that there can be some moving around. There can be some ways to get some of these chips, some of these double teams. There's things that can be done here to try and minimize that, because it's very clear that there is heavy keying on exactly where he's going to be and just throwing a significant number of bodies at him and putting obstacles in the way. So moving around certainly does help that, and I think it's something that he just recently said that he's more open to in the future and is going to work on.
Okay, can't wait to see what he ends up and what he adds to his bag. We got over the right side, maybe up the gut a little bit too.
Ooh.
Maybe a little bit, because Jage, you used to move a lot. You used to move around. Now, granted, you are, Teej is a monster. We understand it, but you are an actual giant of a big. So you could play tackle on defensive line at your size if you had a couple more burgers. How tall are you?
6'6".
How heavy?
290 was when I was playing. 280 now.
Jeez.
You gotta take on this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this human. This human had yeah. Come on inside, Jage. Come on inside. Yeah. He had leverage at all times. Okay. Low man wins. Ain't that right?
That's always right.
Short arms win.
Not always.
Simplest fact in football, easiest one that everybody forgets. Low man wins, baby.
That's right.
Low man wins.
Yeah, unless you're 6'6", 290, and low man could just get kind of
dumped.
Yeah, one of those things. Let's talk about the teams that are doing that. You talked about the Ravens rattling off a bunch of wins at the end of the season. They had 3 games in 11 days, won them all, and then they continue to kind of dominate on the offensive side of the ball while their defense figures it all out. They're taking on the Buffalo Bills this weekend. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, MVP versus MVP runner-up. First team All-Pro versus second team All-Pro. This is a dream matchup, especially this particular season. Josh Allen coming in the year loses a lot of known names on his team, still able to lead his squad into a beautiful place at home playoff games and everything like that. Lamar Jackson is actually playing the best ball that he's ever played in this Monken offense. He's spinning it. He's running again because his mom told him he needs to do that. Both these guys, high level football. This is a dream matchup on CBS Sunday at 6:30. Jage, what are your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills? Because you've already kind of talked about the Ravens. And what does this matchup come down to in your eyes?
I mean, this is obviously an unbelievable game. Can't wait to watch it. No idea what's going to happen, but they're just two phenomenal teams, the 2 top MVP candidates. Like, it's going to be, I'm hoping that it's everything that we all think it could turn out to be, because it has a chance to be one of those epic all-timer games. It's so hard to look at it and try and break it down here, because you have the Ravens who, in my opinion, even from the very beginning of the year, they lost 5 games, but like from the beginning of the year, when you have Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson in the same backfield, that puts teams in such a bind for how you're going to stop that and what you're going to do. And then you go on the flip side and you have the Bills, who have Josh Allen, who can do absolutely anything. And I'm with you. Before the season, I was one of those people that said, I don't know how they replace some of these pieces. I don't know how this is kind of one of those rebuilding years. And all they did was go out there and just dominate and crush people and easily move on to the next round. So this is 2 Titans going at it. You have to find a way to stop the Lamar Derrick Henry. Like, you have to find a way. Clearly, the Steelers did not have the proper plan for the zone read and for everything that they were doing with that. So the Bills have to find a way to slow that combination down. But then the problem is you put the ball in Lamar's hands in the air, and he's been doing it through the air as well. So that's why, as a defensive player, man, it is such a bitch to play against that offense, because it's so hard. And Josh Allen's also doing everything on the other side. It's not fun to be a defensive player against either of these guys.
Well, especially now, this late in the season, obviously this point of the playoffs, it's only going to be the great teams remaining. And we had a reaction. We reiterate this fact because we don't get everything right, but when we do, I think we should take a victory lap. When Derrick Henry signed to the Baltimore Ravens, this particular program was like, that's not fair. That feels like that's not a fair thing, especially with Ricard being there, right? And then Mark Andrews and Likely. And then you got Lamar Jackson, who's a fast player on the field. He said he was striding at 21 miles an hour. It's like, that's a lot of power and a lot of explosion all in one. Shout out to Monken, taking advantage of the entirety. And I think Lamar has found his...
Oh, yeah.
I think it's right here. I think it's a little 3/4. I think that is his motion. Just like Matthew Stafford, very similar motion. I think it took him some time to figure that out. He can put the ball in a keyhole right now. And that is the difference between Lamar this year versus Lamar in the past. Lamar has always been able to throw the ball, like, good. Like, he's always been a good thrower, an NFL quarterback. Probably like 12 to 20 arm-wise. 12 to 20 arm-wise, always has been. But his legs, number 1. So you take 12 and number 1 together, you got an elite quarterback that's going to win multiple MVPs. Now he's like top 5 thrower and still number 1 runner. It's like this guy, his confidence level's through the roof. They're putting a lot of mic'd up stuff out because they're on Hard Knocks, obviously, AFC North, the Ravens. It'll continue for however long they are. We'll talk to Keith Koshro of NFL Films here in about an hour and a half about that. But like this, the looseness in the confidence in which Lamar is playing right now, he feels like he can do anything, and he can. And the way the team is set up, they're the real deal, brother. And then Josh is the same exact thing, it feels like, with Buffalo. Actually, I don't want to say losing Stephon Diggs made them better, because obviously you lose a great player, you're going to take a hit somewhere. But it's like Josh had no stress on it from anybody. It's like, hey, this is your team. You do whatever the hell you want to do on every single play. Don't feel like you got to make everybody happy. It's like both these guys are playing their best ball. Sucks that one of them's got to go home in the divisional round.
Yeah.
But it's great for us, D-Butch.
It's going to be great entertainment with Lamar. It's kind of similar to almost what's going on with Tomlin and the Steelers from the outside in, because like when Lamar had Greg Roman, a lot of people were like, hey, he's winning MVPs. He's it's a run-dominant offense. He's doing all these great things. But at some point he needs to be challenged to become the better passer, become the guy that can read and dissect defenses from the pocket. So they went their separate ways, brought in Todd Monken, and now this is his second full year in this offense, and they have just grown. Like, it's always been the game plan. Hey, make 8 beat you from the pocket, keep him caged in, make him do that. Now he can do that. And he's using his legs more on passing plays, design runs. You got Derrick Henry, a wildcat, Lamar coming across in motion, like all that type of shit. This team is damn near impossible to stop. They got to beat themselves almost on offense.
It feels like Lamar is at the point in his life where he feels like he's proved that he's a good quarterback. Because there for a bit, it felt like he was trying to prove to the world that he was a quarterback. He was kind of sick of people saying, well, this guy's a running back playing quarterback. You know, they even mentioned it after games. I'm not saying we said that, but that is what a narrative was about Lamar Jackson. Feels like he's at a point of his career now after watching where he's comfortable, like, okay, I'm cemented as a great quarterback. Like, that is it. So now he's just doing whatever the best option is. And I love that it took his mom being like, hey, I'm about sick of not watching you cook people. Because with the ball in his hands, he's the best guy on the field. He's the best guy on the field with the ball in his hands anytime he's on the field. And it's like now he's confident and free to kind of make whatever decision. It's like, that's fun, man.
Yet somehow after this game, one of these two quarterbacks is going to lose. And we know that somehow after this game, we're going to have all sorts of reports like, oh, that guy's not, he can't do it. He can't win. Like, I mean, like, we got 2 MVP candidates, 2 of the best of all time going at each other. One of them's going to lose, and we're going to be like, this guy stinks. He may have 3 MVPs. I don't care. He's terrible.
Oh,
like,
Josh Allen can't even win the MVP. This is the best year Josh ever had. Can't even win the MVP. Yeah, it's like, that is legitimately what's going to happen the day after. So on this particular Wednesday, we would like to say, boys, thanks for the seasons you guys had.
Great year.
Great year. Great year by you guys. Now let's talk about the guy who has been able to get the job done, obviously. He's 29 years old. He's already won multiple Super Bowls. He's already changed the game. He's already in the GOAT conversation. He's taken on a phenomenal team out of the AFC South. AQ has a question for you, Jidge.
Yeah, so the Houston Texans, let's talk a little bit about their defense, and can you also touch on Joe Tooney moving out to left tackle and the problems he's about to be faced with when he goes against Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Texans defense was just incredible to watch. Pat, I hope you and the rest of the AFC South got a real good chance to tune into that.
Yeah, thanks for representing for us. Thanks for representing for the AFC South.
Just holding it down out here for the AFC South.
Yeah, because remember, we're in another playoff victory. Yep. Thank you, the AFC South. There's divisions that don't have a playoff victory in years. So AFC South, yet again, it's a fucking buzzsaw. Just so happened the Houston Texans snuck in to the divisional, to winning the AFC South. Wasn't an easy division. Trevor Lawrence, everybody's talking about this guy. Can he make it or not? He plays in the AFC South. Okay, the kitchen is hot in the AFC South. Will Levis, this guy's he plays in the AFC South.
Hold on.
Anthony Richardson, this guy's tapping on the game. Yeah, you know why? It's AFC South football.
Yeah, hard hitting.
Okay, that is what AFC South football is. So we were watching along. Thank you for representing the division, right? Isn't that what we were saying?
Damn right.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm afraid we're kind of becoming like one of those shitty SEC teams who just
Vandy.
Yeah,
we are not Vandy. We got
the old Vandy. Okay. You know, we might be. Oh yeah, AFC South is.
AFC South is the SEC though. Whenever you talk about, thank you. So that is accurate with what you're saying.
It's like Rutgers.
Yeah, no teams in the title game.
I was going to say SEC is not the top dog anymore.
I was about to say,
It's Big Ten country. You know
Big
that.
Ten. Big Ten country, big dog.
Yeah, you're right. Big Ten country. Yeah, you're damn right. Yeah. North.
Exactly.
That's why I'm wearing this camo.
Bingo.
Yeah, because I'm out here, hunting. I got an orange hat I was going to wear so the deer, they can't see it because they're colorblind as shit, but the other people won't shoot me because they see a floating head bouncing through. They're like, oh, we got a goon or a goblin. Nothing. Boom, shoot me. But I got an orange hat I'll put on. You're right, for the North. You're saying we're Rutgers?
Rutgers. Kind of like the MAC almost.
Maryland.
No, we are in the same division. That's the whole thing. We're not in a different conference.
Oh, I thought you guys were like UMass moving on up to the Big
UMass?
Yeah.
I'm about done with this. Yeah. That's a mass hole. And what's the student section up there at UMass? ZooMass.
The zoo, yeah.
Yeah, ZooMass. And maybe we do got good vibes in the AFC. Nonetheless, the AFC South is Big Ten football.
Okay.
And that's just fact of the matter.
That's it.
And all 4 teams can get the job done. At the moment, though, Houston's...
That's not true. Houston's doing it for us. Houston's doing it. Hey, shout out to you.
AFC South's going to Berlin. Wait till you get your eyes on the Colts over there. Guten Tag. That was announced this morning.
Stay over there.
They're taking a
Berlin Colts.
All right, anyways, Jage, let's get back. This Houston Texans
let's get back. Let's pop back. So anyway, so the beginning of the game, for me, was awesome. I think everybody watching hated it because it was pure defense. But for me, seeing Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson Jr., Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, seeing these guys tee off was great. Also slightly worrisome because didn't know if any points were going to be scored whatsoever in this game, and it wasn't looking good. Then clearly the turning point of the game was the fumbled snap. CJ turns it into a long pass, and then he scrambles on the next one, takes us down, and that turned out to be the momentum changer. Clearly, almost like a light went on in his head, like, oh yeah, I am one of the best players in the world. I'm going to go over here and take over. But this Texans defense, I think we give a ton of credit to the edge rushers, and rightfully so. I think there's so many other guys that also contribute to the two corners are lockdowns. I mean, you got Lassiter and Stingley who are absolute lockdowns. You got the backers who are playing good. You have the guys inside, Danico Autry, Mario Edwards, some of these guys. Like, this defense is a legitimate Super Bowl caliber defense. It's a matter of if we can put it all together and keep it all together. And obviously, we all understand the monumental task at hand going into Kansas City up against Patrick Mahomes and the three-time champ. But this defense is the real deal.
Okay, so obviously Stingley is all-everything DB team. So congrats to him. And just days after the all-everything DB team is revealed, he gets 2 picks. So that's nice. Thank you for doing that.
Perfect time.
Thank you for doing that for the all-everything.
Derwin James had a pretty good game, too. I know it was on the short end of the stick, but
I think he had a pick and a fumble recovery or something like that.
They called his pick back. It was close.
We'll say we'll give it to him.
We'll give it to him.
So shout out to all-everything DB team getting it right. Getting it right.
Well,
no matter how much there was bitching and moaning from other teams in the middle of the segment. As we're debuting it, somebody was just ridiculous. Wow.
Yeah.
It's not the all-everything tissue team, pal.
Yeah, got Stingley right. I wonder how that other corner did.
Yeah, that guy for the Broncos. The Bills really went at him.
How do you do, Butch?
Hey, everyone has their day, all right?
Yeah.
Still might win the defensive player of the year.
Gonzo had a great Sunday last week.
I bet he did.
Yeah. He was getting ready for Vrabel football.
Played his ass off.
Jage, his second part of his question for McAfee there was Tooney moving out to tackle. Tooney puts a left up. Like, that's an awesome move for the team. And I saw a clip last night on the internet, maybe memorable football moments on X or something like that. I forget. There's a lot of really good accounts that are pulling up stuff out of the vault. Andy Reid and Brett Favre at the Green Bay Packers. Brett Favre, they start the clip, I think, after the situation happens. And Brett Favre looks at Andy Reid and goes, I love you, man. And Andy Reid goes, I know you do. Yeah, I know you do. We'll see if you do after I get chewed out. And then Coach comes over and he goes, what the hell happened on the alignment or whatever? And Andy Reid cuts off Brett Favre and he goes, I called it in wrong. That's on me. It's not on Brett, yada, yada. It takes the blame, basically, for Brett Favre. And Coach, who was the coach?
Mike Holmgren.
Mike Holmgren goes, it was first 15 play. How do you get it wrong? It was first 15. How'd you get it wrong? Andy Reid's like, that's on me. That's on me. That's on me. But in that moment, obviously everybody knew Brett Favre got it wrong. But Andy Reid's first reaction was he wasn't a proven coach yet. He was still a young coach. He no, I'll take this for you because he knew it could affect Brett for the rest of the game. He also, I think, wanted to prove to his team what type of guy he is. And I think Andy Reid, as a coach, obviously, we chit-chat about this dynasty the Chiefs are in the middle of, and we talk about Bill Belichick being the greatest of all time, which he certainly is, and he has had to shoot down reports that he's going back to the NFL basically every single day since getting this North Carolina job. But in that one mic'd up clip from whenever he was at the Packers, I think I learned everything I needed to learn about Andy Reid. He relates to his players. I think he loves his players. He's a super genius. And Joe Tooney moving out to tackle, I think is just a good indicator of the culture that they have there. Tooney could potentially be Hall of Fame guard, right?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Hall of Fame guard in this entire thing. So to say, you know what? To hell with it. In the biggest year, where we're trying to win our third Lombardi straight, contracts are always going to be talked about in football. For him to say, put me on an island, even though my body type is not the right body type for this, even though my skill set is not the right skill set for this. That's why I've been in here. That's why I'm a Hall of Famer in here. For him to put his left up and go out there, I think that showcases the culture that they have over there at the Chiefs. What do you think about this particular team that the Chiefs are taking against the Houston Texans? And what do you think about Tooney? And what do you think that says about potential, 3 in a row for them?
I think you've encapsulated it perfectly. And I do think that clip shows exactly why people love playing for Andy Reid, why he does such a great job with his teams. I've been saying it most of this season in that Patrick Mahomes has been spreading the ball around, sometimes shorter throws, just matriculating the ball down the field because they aren't making some of those big explosive plays like they used to in the past, but they're doing what they have to do to win. Whoever is open gets the ball, however short the pass is. Everybody is doing just what they have to do to win games. They haven't been winning games by these huge margins all year long, but it doesn't matter. All you need to do is win the game. We talked about Travis Kelce last year with the 16 yards short of 1,000 yards to keep the streak going, but do whatever's best for the team. Every single guy on that Chiefs team knows it doesn't matter about me, it doesn't matter about my individual stats. This is about winning Super Bowls, and Andy Reid has done that better than anybody, getting these guys to buy in, knowing that just trust me. I will put you in the best position, and we will win games. We will win Super Bowls. Just buy into what we're doing here. And clearly it's something that's worked extremely well, and clearly everybody's bought in. And, I mean, that's how you win 3 Super Bowls, and you're going for 4.
And having that guy isn't a bad reason either. Patrick Mahomes, to your point about just willing to sacrifice a lot of stats and everything like that to just win games. Because Patrick Mahomes, at this stage of his career, with everything he's accomplished, could be a diva. Could be a prima donna. He could want to get rid of an offense that doesn't have him throw it 35, 40 times a game so he can run those numbers up. Instead, just like last year, he wasn't scared at all to hand that thing off 25, 30 times a game. I'm only going to have 17 to 22 pass attempts. This is Patrick Mahomes that we're talking about. And, you know, people are comparing him to Tom Brady already. I think Tom Brady had that as well. That's why whenever people say, you know, Bill used to coach Tom just like he coaches everybody else. He used to chew out Tom every single team meeting in front of the rest of the team so everybody else knew that that could happen. It's like, not everybody's just going to take that shit. Like, that's a talent that Tom Brady had. That's a trait that Tom Brady had that made him great. There's a lot of guys that would be like, nah, this shit ain't happening. You can get me out of here. I'm not getting embarrassed in front of my team. Feels like Patrick Mahomes has that same. And you know who else does on this graphic? This C.J. Stroud guy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, this hasn't been the best year for C.J. I think he would admit that. I think he would acknowledge that. A lot of injuries. But then Nico Collins gets back on the field. And it's like CJ probably feels a reinvigoration of like hope and optimism. And those two are lethal. Those two are an absolute problem. That's why whenever they bring in Stephon Diggs, they're like, wait a second. If we can kind of maybe make this a little bit easier for both parties, our offense should get opened up. They've had a lot of injuries. They've had a lot of situations. CJ played great in the wild card, just like he did last year in the wild card. Biggest moments, he plays his best ball. I love this game, Chiefs and Texans. I love Ravens, Bills. Let's head over to the NFC now. D-Butch has a question for you, Jay.
Yeah, I think that's games going to come down to who can block, who can keep their quarterbacks upright. But speaking of defenses, this Eagles defense, Vic Fangio, he's come over and had this Eagles defense being one of the best, especially down the stretch. Had a good outing last week as well. I know they lost Nakobe Dean for the rest of the playoff run, but what's your thoughts on this Eagles defense facing Matt Stafford and his Rams offense? And did you see that little flick that Stafford did to avoid the sack? I want your thoughts on that too.
Yeah, I'll start with the Eagles defense, and then I'll get to that flick because I got thoughts on it. But the Eagles defense, I feel like, is almost getting overshadowed by their offense because their offense, obviously Saquon and everything the offensive line has done and the way that they've been playing this year. The Eagles defense doesn't get enough credit. I mean, they are a phenomenal unit. And I think obviously a Badger, Zach Bond, playing out of his mind, also playing special teams, dominating, all-pro. Just the defense in general has been so fun to watch, so enjoyable, and they're a massive reason why they're here. And after watching the Rams the other night, of course, they're going to need to play extremely well because Stafford is playing as good as he's played, and he looks great. Now, let's get to the flick because I want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Brilliant play. Brilliant play by Stafford. As the rules are written, it is a legitimate play. He flipped the ball in the general direction, at least somewhere in the vicinity of Puka Nacua. He knew that he had a guy somewhere in that area because he knows the plays, he knows wherever he's going to be. So he just does that little flick, and yes, that is absolutely within the rules.
Genius.
That is absolutely not intentional grounding as is called today. Now, besides a spike, has there ever been a ball that was more intentionally headed for the ground than that ball?
He tried.
He's a no-look guy.
Trying to make a play.
Yeah, he's filthy.
I agree, but think about, you're doing everything that you possibly can as a pass rusher. You finally get back there. You go to get a sack. You got him all wrapped up. Can't hit him in the head. Can't hit him in the knees. Can't hit him low. Can't hit him high. Got to hit him perfectly. Roll off of him when you hit the ground. And then all he has to do is that, and you don't get your sack, everything that you worked for.
That's a heady
I don't
play.
know
Sorry
how
about
you
it.
change the rule.
Welcome to the NFL. Welcome to the NFL, Judge.
I don't know how you would change the rule. I don't know how you could possibly make this a rule, but man, that sucks ass as a pass rusher.
There's not always going to be somebody in the vicinity, and they're not going to be able to do that. But Matthew Stafford knowing that, and I think they would say Kyron Williams was in the vicinity too if Puka was not there, because Puka and Kyron run into each other, so they're actually in a similar position there. But Matthew Stafford just being dialed in that much,
it's incredible.
Imagine if he completed that.
So
could you think?
So Bill was on the Manningcast when this happened, and Eli Peyton, they both saw it. They fumble, got to be a fumble, and Bill was like, nope, incomplete. It's gonna be an incomplete pass. And then once they called it incomplete, Bill was like, come on, it's an offensive league. It's no rules are meant to help defenders, but this was crazy. And like you said, genius for knowing the rules, because as soon as he got up, he was like, nah, that'll be picked up. It's a pass.
How about also the Bill said, was it Bill or Lombardi? I forget who it was. They said they'll never say something's uncatchable in the NFL because of how athletic the wide receivers are. So, even if it's an overthrow by 10 yards, you're very rarely going to hear an NFL ref say that was uncatchable, because we've seen shit happen in the NFL where somebody somehow and then comes down and lands it. So the NFL is never going to say. I feel like in the same thing there. You don't think Matthew Stafford was trying to? You don't think the talent of you don't think the legend that is Matthew Stafford was trying to complete that? What if he does complete that?
Exactly.
You defensive
That
people
was
need
not
to
ever
fucking
going.
relax.
That was never. It was going directly to the ground.
Puka catches everything.
Yeah, he was so disoriented.
Grenard.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Greenard there. Man, that would have been so disrespectful. I apologize. He's trying to DDT him.
Yeah.
He was discombobulated. Maybe he's trying to punch him in the back of the head. There's a little, he's not a dirty player. But you get, he's a little discombobulated
back there.
Unbelievable.
So he's a boxer wobbling down at the ground. That's a lethal shot.
Puka, there you are.
Yeah, and he's trying to
catch a Puka.
He's trying.
Unbelievable.
It's brilliant. It was brilliant, man.
Sources have told us that there has been a player that has acknowledged the blame for that play going wrong.
Okay.
Who is it?
Well, it is. The message was, please tell Big Oos to move on from this play.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
I think we.
The Stafford reset.
Yeah. It was Matthew Stafford. Yeah. No, absolutely not. Okay, so Eagles defense, great. Zach Bond, a lot of Badgers doing their thing.
Yeah.
How about him making all pro? He was jacked.
Linebacker, you. Are you
guys going to get good at football again, or what do you think?
We're trying. We're trying. Are you?
What, West Virginia or the Colts?
Either.
I'm going to let you know West Virginia's going to be a problem going forward.
I hope so.
I'm looking forward to it. That's a place I'd like to see a game. I feel like that's a proper party.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. I don't know if you want to get. How old are you?
I am 35.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm 37. I don't think we're built to go do the Morgantown good time thing.
I don't think we are either.
We just did it.
We are either.
No, we did it. We did a very casual one.
No,
Yeah, it was a good time.
In April or March. Yeah, it was April. We did it.
Yeah, but that wasn't like a game. Like the game is the entire, everybody that is in the surrounding area is coming, and it is awesome. I would assume that it has to be ranked top 5 football environment whenever the team's good for everything that's going on, because the entire state's there. Everything shuts down, and the state likes to have a good time. So it's not like, you got a parking lot over here that's kind of casual, cooking everything. It's like, no, every parking lot is doing the same thing.
Going.
And it's cheers, beers, Mountaineers, brother. And we are having a good time here. Definitely answer that. Let's go back one more time to the play that happened with the Los Angeles Rams. Joining us now is the wide receiver that was in the vicinity of said genius play by Matthew Stafford. Puka Nacua.
Yeah,
Puka.
No.
Go ahead.
Big Goose, I'm out here trying to get some treatment. I'm laying down and I'm just watching you. I can't even hear, but I can only assume you're flaming me on that clip.
No. We're talking about how genius Matthew Stafford was. If you want to walk through this play, though, Matthew Stafford makes a great play. Why are you saying it's your fault?
Yeah, he does. I mean,
he shouldn't be.
If you see number 7, if you go back to the start, I'm supposed to
go the backfield.
I'm supposed to go to the backside to block, and I just knock every single one of our linemen off of their block right here. So then Matthew's just got to toss that ball out to the side. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did he even see me? Look at that. 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys all knocked off their block right there by Puka Nacua.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking some accountability and saying that's on me 1,000%. But all the plays you made, brother, Every once in a while, there's going to be a little bit of a timing issue.
Oh,
if you weren't
man,
such a dog, you wouldn't be able to move 3 bodies like you do. You're a beast. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. Let's not do it next year, though, Oos.
Oh, exactly. That's why I'm like, this guy Matthew's got eyes in the back of his head. He's looking at all the guys running routes. He's like, oh, there's a guy right in front of me.
Hey, Oos, you guys are on fire right now, brother. And,
Man, it feels good to be in LA right now.
Okay.
We got the heat in some good ways over here in the Rams facility.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the kind of streak you've been on over there at the Rams. Whenever trade deadline was coming around, there was almost like a thought of, are the Rams going to be buyers or sellers here? Like, are they going to kind of forfeit on the year almost and look ahead? Then you guys stick with it, same team. Everybody gets healthy. You're incredibly hot. Right? Why is that, you think? Is it health? What do you think it is with your team and your defense more specifically?
Shoot, I think health 100%. I mean, you've seen all our young bulls going crazy on the D line. Everybody just wreaking havoc. I think we got guys like Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, and you walk in the facility and I feel like they just walk in and they start barking. They just come in there, got so much energy, juice, and they're out here trying to run through everybody.
Okay, and the offense, Matthew Stafford, just Matthew Stafford?
I ain't training today, man. I'm talking to
Are you on the
right
bike
now.
as we speak? Are you on the bike?
Yeah. We're getting the core activated there, too. I like that, Oos. What are we doing today?
How are you guys handling this week? I'm curious because you had to fly back from Arizona Monday night, and then you have to fly out. I assume you're flying out Saturday, or you guys a 2-day early team?
Ooh, I wish we were 2 days early. I mean, I'd get a nice Philly cheesesteak before we had to stay in the hotel.
Yeah, true.
No, we're flying out on Saturday. Shoot, we had a day off yesterday, getting to move around today. See how Matthew Stafford's feeling, see if we can sling it around. We'll lift some weights today, get in there, hit a trap bar deadlift. What you throwing up, Mr. Watt? What should we try to hit on the bar?
My language. I'd like a little trap bar deadlift. However many weights fit on it, that's how many I put on there, bro.
I don't think we have enough 45s for you over here.
Yeah, I mean, that's much JJ Watt.
Yeah, you do. Aaron Donald was in that building. You got enough for him there.
They sent them all with him when he left.
All right, Oos. Good luck. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you. You guys have a good one. Peace out, Big Oos.
Hey, appreciate you. Let's not fuck up any more plays. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Puka Nakua.
Yeah, Puka.
That's awesome. Man, they're just cooking me on this. Yeah, I was wrong. Okay, get over it. Let's move past this. Oos was the message he sent. Yeah. And then he had no idea we're complimenting you, bub. That's good vibes there. That's 2 times now he's called in the show, and they're like, are you working out? Yo.
Target Big Oos.
Yeah, do that. That vibe, man.
Great dude, man. Seems like a great dude.
He said they come into the building barking, like the energy. I guess Sean McVay, I assume, is that way. So then the teams kind of take on the identity of their. How about Sean McVay? Can we talk about that? When did he get hired? 32? Is that how old he was?
I think he might have been younger.
31?
Yeah, it might have been.
And just immediately in the fire. How you doing? Let's go ahead and run with it. And he's just had success this entire time. What are your thoughts on him, and why do you think he's successful?
He's brilliant. I think he has both characteristics that are required to be a great coach in this league. He has the personality and the charisma to be able to handle all the different things that come with an NFL locker room, motivating, leading, handling distractions, handling egos, all of that. But then he has the second part, which is the brilliance. He has the coaching brilliance. He just sees the game in a different way. He creates these plays. He creates these schemes. He gets guys open. It's very tough to play against Sean McVay. It's very frustrating because he is thinking 2 steps ahead at all time. So you have to try and keep up with that. And he's just really, really good at what he does, and his guys love playing for him. And when you have that level of brilliance, it just makes everybody in the room immediately respect you, and it makes that motivation part even easier because you can step in front of an entire NFL team full of grown men and say, I've got the plan that's going to win us a game. Just trust me. And that's what they do.
You can be a genius. You can be able to play, call plays. But if you don't win, team will get sick of your shit.
Yep.
And they've won. Yep. That is, you're kind of seeing it done in Miami. Right? We love McDaniel. He's a genius. He's doing things his own way. This is the next guy. You don't win, though. They immediately say, corny, hate this guy, get him out of here. If you win, not only does the team buy in, but the entire community, the fan base buys in. I think Sean McVay is special, man. I think he's very, and he can go make $30 million a year right now on TV.
That was why I asked that question. If that recovery part is a legitimate thing that I've been thinking about for this game coming up, because you know, and obviously everybody here knows that played, but I don't think the outside world truly knows that You got a late Monday night game, and then they have to travel back home because they didn't get the real home game. So they travel back home, and then you got to recover on Tuesday. And now on Saturday, they have to fly out to Philly. So, like, that's a short week for a playoff preparation, for A, getting your body back, B, for game planning and everything that comes along with it. I really don't think that's something that the public truly understands, how big of a difference that makes.
Yeah, to add to your point too, it's playoffs, so everybody's banged up. So like every game is just beaten up more and faster, more physical these games because it could be your last game. So you're just kind of limping through these playoffs. Most guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing with McVay's team. Most people wouldn't think that. Like, they're a physical team, like on both sides of the ball. Like, they run the hell out of the ball. Puka, like what he does in the blocking game and like the screen game, he almost takes bumps like running backs do throughout the week. And then on the defensive side of the ball, what Chris Schuler's doing with that defense, those boys up front, like off the edges, like every time you saw Sam Darnold in the pocket, that shit was condensed. That shit was getting squeezed, doing a bunch of different games in between. So they're a physical ball club on both sides of the football.
Yeah, I concur. Okay, and we're wrapping up here on this hour, and we're getting a chance to chat with Jage, first ballot Hall of Famer. When that time comes, how many years you been fake teasing going back to play? I guess that's how I'll call that.
This is my second year retired.
So we got 3 more. All right, so we'll wait. I'm not saying it for 3 more years, though. I'm about sick of saying that. No. Future first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah. Can we just
just say first ballot?
Can't we just put him in? Like Coach Saban, they put him in College Football Hall of Fame. Can't we just do that?
They did it with the coaches.
Is he going to be the commissioner or what?
What's that?
Is he going to be the commissioner or what?
Who?
I saw you saying he should be the commissioner, Saban, of college football.
No.
Be the commissioner of college football.
I've been trying to push that all year. He's just not about it. He's just
not working?
Yeah, he tried to pawn it off on me, I think, because he and I have had Friday dinners where we chit-chat about business and stuff, and I think he doesn't think I'm a complete doofus, but I told him publicly, you push that off of me, it's like you might as well just say we're going to give this to a team.
You're going to get some car dealerships. You're going to get some car dealerships.
No. That is not my world, but it certainly is, and it is a good business. Yeah. It is a good business for old Coach Saban. That brain is a motivating one. It is a hardworking one. It is a brilliant one. But, boy, it is a money-making machine, too. That guy is a legend. Okay, we only have like a minute before a hard out, but we have to ask you, because you're a first-ballot Hall of Famer and so important. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, JJ, how do you feel about the coaching openings that are still available? Obviously, Cowboys has kind of turned into a shit show. Vrabel's up in New England. What do you think about all the situations going on?
1 minute.
1 minute. Got it. I think Vrabel made perfect sense up in New England. I mean, I think there's no-brainer there. Tough, physical, Patriot way, all that stuff. I think he fits great there. Cowboys, I have zero idea what in the world that is. Blocking interviews from McCarthy last week and then letting him go this week, getting yourselves where you can't interview Ben Johnson and those guys, like, just zero idea what's happening down there.
They said it's a solo mission by Jerry. That's the latest report. I think Jane Slater said Jerry Jones is taking this on himself.
Great.
Listen, if it's a good hire, it's on me. If it's a bad hire, it's on me. You guys don't have to deal with what I'm doing. And I'm very proud of what we did in oil and gas. And, most proud about getting to do this with my sons. And you don't want to be sitting there, laying there in the future wishing you could see a couple more sons come up. Take advantage of this time now. You too. You're not a spry chicken over there. Damn. Thanks, Jerry. You walked on out. All right, Jake, we appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day. And see you next time.
All right. We thank you, Judge.
Nope. There's no countdown clock. I was waiting for the countdown clock, so I knew how much time I had. There's no countdown clock.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.
See you next hour.
Belle Sessions, who got here at 3 a.m. this morning, was the winner. Her ticket was pulled, and you thought to yourself immediately, what, Belle?
I knew I couldn't do it, and he was next to me, and he said that he could, so we're splitting it.
Okay, so Belle Sessions made the decision to talk to my man, Henry Silver, who'd been... Henry got here yesterday at 6 p.m. He's been waiting for this moment. Now, Henry, you told her that you could make it. Why do you think that's the case? Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I've kicked a ball before. I've played soccer my whole life. I think I can do it.
This kick is for $150,000. You said you would split it in half, right? Yes, sir. Okay, so let's make it $200,000. If you make it, you will both get $100,000. Where are you from, Henry?
I'm from Fishers, Indiana.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Colts?
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Come on, bro. Hell yeah. To hell with the Falcons. That was rude. They didn't deserve that. I like that. Henry, 33 yards, $100,000 for you, $100,000 for her, $200,000 to hurricane relief, $400,000 on the line. Henry, are you ready?
Of course.
Have you ever said anything bad about kickers?
Of course.
Shut up. Let's go. Now, here in Athens, Georgia, it would be beautiful if $400,000 would be up for grabs. Why don't we double it? Because the Georgia Bulldogs. So, $800,000 kick right here, Henry. But what I want to let you know is you're not getting a second opportunity. I don't care if this entire place starts chanting for a second kick. One kick, 800,000 racks, 400,000 to hurricane relief, 400,000 to you two split, 200 grand each. Henry Silver from Indiana for Bell Sessions. Let's go, Henry! Oh my! Henry! Henry! Come in, buddy! Come in! Let me see this. Let me see this, Henry. That was amazing. I mean, he walked in like, Henry! Congratulations, Henry! Congratulations, Bill! Dude! Congratulations, Georgia! What a morning! College game day's the greatest! College football's amazing! Bill!
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Out here, the program starts now. Football is wonderful. We're so incredibly lucky that we get to talk about it, and we can't thank you enough for joining us on this fine, cold-ass afternoon here in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Boys, there was the second episode of a new sport on last night.
Sure.
TGL.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some people I saw are saying after watching it, does the G stand for goofball?
Yeah.
Is it the goofball league?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, those people have Canadian accents and used to paint ships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is what some people are saying from that particular demographic, I think. Did you get a chance to watch? And what are your thoughts on TGL? I think, in theory, should be amazing.
I agree.
I don't know if it's as
the execution
holding. I don't know if it holds people enough. And I'm only saying that strictly because my wife has to watch a lot of sports, you know. And I say have to because she's not a fan of all sports.
Sure.
But I enjoy sports. I enjoy competition. I enjoy watching people do their thing. I enjoy watching people sing. I like watching people prepare and then execute. I like watching how humans go ahead and do that. This one, like, I think she was really pumped early to watch it. You know, Tigers out there.
Yep.
Simulator. We got noise. We got sound. We got an arena. We got the entire thing. You know, Homa even, absolutely awesome. Obviously better. Should have maybe been on week 1, but that's neither here nor there. We're not scheduling the entire thing. But I think after about 5 minutes of it, she was completely out. She was just like, I don't even know what the hell's going on here. And I said, you just got to wait. And then there was a couple moments, because I can watch great people at their thing do their thing. So like Tiger stepping up, so I'm gonna watch that. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I'd watch it if it was a clip on my phone, that I scroll through.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to watch the entirety. I think they're still trying to figure it out, but I think in theory and concept, it is good. How do you feel about TG?
I agree. I've watched it both weeks so far. Last week, I didn't appreciate that it was on 10 Eastern. I was just like, what are we doing? We're trying to launch this thing. Why the hell is it on so late? Obviously, there's college basketball and all that kind of stuff on ESPN. So I did appreciate that it was on at 7 yesterday with Tiger and everything. I think it's more palatable. You're going to get more people to watch. But I agree. It's like, it just, the whole like allure of it is like, hey, we're having all these guys mic'd up. Like that's the big thing is like, hey, you're going to hear these golfers and you're going to get to see these guys like you never. But we've seen this in different forms with the match and all this other stuff. These guys don't talk. They just don't. They're just not used to like talking a bunch of shit to each other. That's just not who they are. That's not who golfers are. So like they are mic'd up, but we're not getting that kind of content. Like there are a couple.
I think they're nice boys.
I agree.
I think the golfers are a nice
I enjoyed it.
boy.
Sweet
that
fellas.
is 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler.
Golf Mart.
Massive golf fan. Actual Butler Birdies is an account you can follow along with and his family as they are going to dominate golf inevitably. I think I watch it just because it's golf.
Yeah.
And I think I'm watching last night because Tiger Woods is golfing even more so.
Had to.
But like the show, what they do on
the show stinks.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, yeah. I think
the entertainment portion
just like
of it, I think,
Live,
stinks.
just like Live.
I agree.
The presentation was just, in theory, this is all good idea. Presentation, it's like, come on.
Because you're right. Some of the clips, like there was a part last night where Justin Rose had like a 10-foot putt to win a hole, and they took a timeout to ice him.
Awesome.
And then, and he came back and sank the putt and looked right at him and pointed, and it was like stuff like that, like was sweet, and like the crowd was booing him and making noise and stuff like that. Like that stuff is awesome, but there is, it should be an hour or 30 minutes. It's too long. There's too much, and I think that's the whole thing too. Is like, hey, it's quick. There's the shot clock and everything, but it feels so drawn out. And then again, we haven't had a close competitive one yet.
Yeah.
That was founder of Reddit right there.
Yeah.
Serena's husband, who owns a part of LA Golf Club's team in there, TGL. I think they have it somewhere in there. Like, I think they have it. I think it's a beautiful concept. I think it's a great idea. I think they got the right people in there.
You still like the tech and the sim as far as the sim and how it looks? Like the drive, especially with like the drives.
I think it's all in there. I don't know if we need to be zooming in on a golf simulator ball flying, with an empty, fake tech crowd behind the green when you have an entire arena. Like, I don't, because you go to this golf sim never works. That's maybe the most impressive thing.
Without a doubt.
Is that they've been able to operate with the sim working the entire time. But like, this is a sick shot, I think. I think this is awesome. I think this is the selling point right here.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods with tech. Whenever they go full screen on like this, I think it's tough for me to like really pay attention. I like the beach. Whenever they have like a crowd fake thing in the back, I'm like, all right, I'm in a video game now. Tiger Woods is like, I think they got it.
Yeah.
Like, I think they have a chance to make this thing awesome, and I'm hoping they're doing it. I hope they do.
Yeah,
because
me too. I think the show around it can definitely be better than it's so early on. But as golfers and me just getting into golf the last couple years, the more you see of the golfer's personality, like talking shit, whatever this on the green, talking shit, a shot, throwing the hammer gimmick, which I don't know where they got that from. The hammer gimmick,
love the hammer,
the timeouts, like you mentioned, ISIS. So I like the different elements. Like you said, it's in there somewhere. It's only the second episode, and like a close game would be great. They lose 12 to 1.
So then I thought they got 3 points at one point because they said it because they were trying to lay it, and then I look at score, it didn't change. So then I thought they had a delayed score. I'm like, can't have that. Can't have a Mickey Mouse score operation happening. And then I never saw the point change, and I'm like, okay, so they didn't get points. I thought they just got 3 points. It's cool. It's in there.
So I saw that. So that was the hammer.
12-year NFL vet, also golf aficionado, built like a Buddha, swings like John Daly. Ladies and gentlemen, A.Q. Shipley.
Well, that was the hammer, and then they threw the hammer back, so it goes from 2 points
Double
to 3.
hammer.
Double hammer goes from 2 points to 3 points, but then they tied the hole. Because they tied the whole no points exchange.
There's so much.
It stinks. It absolutely stinks.
There's the guy that said the thing that I said.
It does. I mean, we don't got to beat around the bush here. We all know it stinks right now. Can it get better? Yes, it probably will. But right now, it's not very good.
but we will watch it.
We will watch it. I watched it last night.
As a golf guy, I don't mind watching it. I enjoy watching it, but the golfers are too boring to carry the conversation. And then you leave Matt Berry on an island by himself the whole time. Matt Berry needs a partner in this thing to kind of carry
Marty's
the convo.
there.
Yeah,
yes,
Marty's
and
there.
it should be Marty. I don't know why we don't have more Marty. But yeah, Matt Berry needs some help.
I think we need more Marty.
Golfers are too boring.
They need an instigator. They need someone.
They
who,
need a regular human on all these
That's
teams.
what I mean. Someone
Shooter
who,
McGavin.
Someone who will actually get under these guys' skin a little bit.
Maybe Shooter McGavin, but they need a regular human on every team. And that person has to at least has to be a part of it. Now, can you earn your way into it? Potentially. And you can get a ringer maybe. Maybe. Maybe that'll happen. But I think there should be, I think you should have to have a handicap. I think it should have to be 10. I think handicap should have to be 10. And I think that should be a part of this entire thing. Now we're playing the game.
Yeah. They need someone with a mic on the green, and when someone has a huge putt for birdie or whatever it is for the win, that person should be interviewing the players and even the person doing the putt. Like, they need a little more interactivity.
Kelly James music.
They need Kelly James music.
Get him out there.
He already knows every one of these golfers.
Exactly.
Are you also thinking like a psych out like basketball?
No, so what I'm thinking, maybe, and they could put that on the backboard too. Imagine lining up, looking at that thing, and then all of a sudden, she pops up in your face. Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Like an RPG coming at you or something.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa! Yeah, could be any of those things. Whoa, that would be awesome. And people are gonna think we're making a mockery of it now, and we're not.
Spitballing.
The thought of a regular human being on one of each team.
Smart. Be amazing.
Just thought of it
Just
in
from
real
the
time
yucking
here,
up.
because you said instigator. We would assume that person would be a standard golfer whenever you go out and golf. Oh, yeah. Or that person's scared to death of it.
Exactly, one of the two.
But then we all get to see it. It's just like the field goal kicking thing on Saturdays. You know, these people all want to do it. They're signing up. They're getting a ticket. They get called for it. And then we're watching these people in real time have to battle. And every once in a while, there's a Henry Silver down in Georgia who steps up to the plate and buries a kick. And then there's, more often than not, somebody, you see their entire body shrivel up. It's like, oh, fuck. I can't do this. Imagine that on TGL. Tiger Woods standing like this on the other side of the tee box. Whatever it matters to. Think about what Tiger would do to a regular human if it was 10-10. What's a regular score for this fucking thing?
12-0.
No, yeah, but what could be? What could be the score? Like 10-10, 5-5, whatever it is?
I want to say 7's the magic number.
7-7. So let's say it's 7-7, 18th. And this regular ass motherfucker's golfing, and Tiger is just sitting right over his shoulder. That's a moment now, all of a sudden. And then what if you hit one pure there? Just like D-Butt did at the LA Chargers facility.
Yep, exactly.
Which was at a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes. You're representing all of us. Hit the ball very, very well.
On the Braves program.
Joining us now, only rule. It encompasses a lot of things. Don't embarrass the program. Joining us now is a man who's never done that.
Ever.
Never would.
Nope.
Couldn't, actually. Had a great haircut yesterday. Yeah. I don't know if it still looks as sharp, but we're excited to see. College football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner from the Ohio State University. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
AJ, you heard the brainstorm there about TGL. You heard what are your thoughts on all of what we said? And then do you have any additives to maybe make this thing as awesome as we think it can be? Because much like Bruce Brown and I were talking about earlier, it was on. So I watched it. And if we're going to watch it, let's make it great. And I think they can. I think it's a brilliant concept, AJ.
Yeah, I think there's something there. I don't have all the solutions. I don't ever claim to be that guy, but I think there is something there. You're right. They're on to something. I feel like maybe even, I mean, you don't want to make a mockery of the whole situation. I joked about the whole spin around on a bat thing and then make them hit while they're all dizzy. Maybe like random stuff like that every once in a while, but that might be too Mickey Mouse or people will hate. But what about just getting different groups of people to play each other? It doesn't have to be golfers. What if you had, like football players, 4 buddies on one team play 4 buddies on another team, like rivals? Maybe
NBA, NFL.
What if you had NFL coaches that maybe hate each other secretly or rumored behind the scenes they play each other? Because we'd see some of those guys, like all of us can do. Oh, here we go. I just sliced one and just donged some poor old lady in the head in the front row. Like they're going to have to protect themselves as well. Maybe put some nets up.
And we saw Kisner blade one that could have won into the crowd. I don't know if they were ready for that. It hits the...
Tiger loved it.
That's a huge deal that hit that because there's humans back here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, I don't think they got a net up like it's baseball because they never expect that to happen. So it hitting off the flag is a huge
Smoke.
I think that was very,
Yeah.
very.
See, that's what everybody should have to do, though, because Kisner had like 14 beers right before he went out there. So, like, if they have one guy on each team have to do that, then all of a sudden we got a game.
There's potential marketing op that I don't know how the Hulkster hasn't seen yet.
No kidding.
Real American beer hole.
His backyard, too.
Got to chug 20 of them, brother.
Yeah.
Can't hit yet. Got to keep going. You got to chug as much as the Hulkster chugs real American beer. Then you can go. So I think they're going to figure it out. Didn't even think about the non-professional golfers in the TGO arena over there.
But Marty should be there. Sorry, before you go on. Marty should be there as an instigator or just a guy just lobbing questions at them as they're transitioning from shot to shot, whatever they're doing. Like I think they need something like that.
Yeah, what are you thinking about here, Tig? You know? Hey, what do you got going through your mind right now? Well, I'm trying to think if it's all right. He powered one through early, a putt.
Yeah.
That I don't know what he thought he saw. Did he make that place? Did he create? He created that green.
He did.
I don't know what that was. A terrible read. I don't know.
Why didn't it go left?
Yeah, and then it went like 6 feet past. I was like, tied the hole, I guess. Yep, that's good. Yep, good. I guess because if I'm golfing there, obviously every human on earth is going to make that. Hey, you're going to have to make that 6 foot putt.
Oh, yeah.
That Tiger Woods just powered through the entirety of it all. I think they're going to figure it out. Let's go to Hammer, Dahn. AJ, I don't know if you know this. Pittsburgh Steelers are in complete disarray. Everybody hates everybody. Let's go to Tone Diggs. Tone, have you gotten any updates on any things we chatted about in the first hour about your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, unfortunately, there's been no updates yet as far as the mass changes that are expected to happen. We are still status quo, so no news to break at this moment.
Okay, I would like a little bit of an update if you could have it, because we're from the town with the great football team. Go on and get them Steelers. You like that song?
I mean, just banger after banger, huh?
See, that one stinks, but the Here We Go Steelers is a great one.
The polka does not stink.
The polka does, but the other one is first class.
Well, they're hoping that they can sing that and actually win Super Bowl. Here we go. That's what they're saying. Here we go. Again.
Steelers.
Here we go. Again.
Pittsburgh's gonna try to win a Super Bowl.
Here we go. Again.
Steelers.
Here we go. That's kind of the song.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to Hammer. Dahn. Did we figure out the new song for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is that how you guys feel?
No, I don't think that's how it should go. I don't think anyone in Pittsburgh would enjoy that song.
Ain't that kind of how you guys feel, though? Here we go. Again. Steelers. Here we go. That's kind of how everybody feels, right? Again.
I mean, sure, but we're not changing the song.
Well, it sounds like you guys aren't hearing the old song anymore. What you're hearing is, here we go again, Steelers. Here we go. It's actually kind of catchy. Was the beat made for that?
For the again.
Are the Packers or the Chargers or the Bucks, any of those teams changing their songs this offseason?
Whoa, let's not start pointing fingers.
Come on.
Okay, geez, the Colts haven't won the AFC South in 10 years. We don't need to start talking about everybody else's lawn. Okay, let's just talk about your front yard, pal, which is obviously going to be kept very clean. And I think Tomlin does have the answers. I think Steelers are going to figure it out. Got a lot of question marks, but that's a good thing. You can have a nice refresh and a reset, maybe, even though you keep the same person as the head coach. AQ Shipley was calling for him earlier. Did you hear that, H? Did you hear what AQ was saying earlier?
Yeah, a little bit, but I want to ask AQ quickly. If someone said you had a good working relationship, is that a positive, AQ, or is that a negative, you think?
A good working relationship is positive.
I think so, too.
But does that mean you have a very poor personal relationship if it's a coach? Is that
Does
what
it
that
matter?
means?
Does it matter?
I think you're right. I guess you could say they have a good professional working relationship, but there's got to be mutual respect for it to be decent, to be a good partnership.
And I think if you do have and I asked, does it matter? And as you were chatting there and you talked about mutual respect, I was like, I think it does matter. I think you do have to like each other. If you like each other, you're going to be much better. Now, I don't know where this is coming from. Mark Caboli put this out, said substantiated rumors, and allegedly this source from the building says this about Russ and Artie Smith. And we know Artie and we think we know Russell. We could see how potentially there would be a differing of how people operate in their day-to-day operations. But maybe this was a little bit bigger story than anybody was giving credit to. Maybe next year there'll be full harmony. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers going to the Super Bowl. There they go. Joining us now is a man who might be coaching.
Maybe.
The Steelers?
Maybe.
Him and Russ would see eye to eye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who has put ESPN daily television on his back for the better part of the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Always on your television.
crazy.
Nonstop.
I'm on TV a lot. Too much. I'm about done with me. That's why I wear camouflage so people couldn't see.
Sure.
You know, kind of hide out here. This guy was on TV all day, every day for the better part of the last 3 football seasons. And we appreciate him for that because he just started out as a ex-highlight reel breakdown guy. Now he's this. Dan Orlovsky. Breaking down film right there. Breaking down film right there. He was doing an email. He was doing his business while we were introducing him. Thank you for joining us and taking time away from whatever was just happening on that laptop, brother. Typing up an email, huh? Giving ideas.
I am. Yeah, stuff for today's show. I was responding to something for a graphic that I kind of wanted to have built.
Oh, we thought it was potentially to an NFL team. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Dano, there was, I believe it was the Acme Packers account kind of repurposed something you may have said that said, hey, listen, I would love to be the Packers quarterback coach because Tom Clements is stepping down. He's retiring. Is there any truth to that? Are you going to be coaching Jordan Love next year?
And how'd that come about?
I think it came about because someone sent something on social media about that or something in regards to, I believe, Clements retiring. Is there any truth to it? Like, I have had conversations with places. I feel like this happens almost every year. I'm very flattered by it about stuff in the coaching world. I've had those again this year. It's something that, I say this all the time. This is just me being very honest about everything. Like, I love being at ESPN. I love doing TV. I do. I really do. You guys, I'm sure, experience this as well. Like, there is a, when you grow up in the locker room and you grow up in that environment where you do it together and it's always a part of a team, which was something I craved as much as anything. When you don't have that, you miss being a part of that group. And so, there's always a desire. There still is a desire to kind of continue to be a part of like the fabric of my life type of thing and every day. And so there is the desire and the craving to have that. And also coach. I have so many friends that coach. I mean, I just saw Josh McCown on Monday night leaving the stadium to the airport, and I saw him, and it was just a quick embrace and how you doing? And he's like, dude, I love it. I saw TJ Yates, who's a buddy of mine who took my job in Houston when we were with Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, and he's the quarterback coach down there. I said, how do you like it? He said, dude, I love it. So I have a lot of friends who are in that world that are really smart football people, and they love it, and if it's the right place, right time, right people, it seems to be a really, really fun experience.
Okay. Well, we're incredibly proud of you for coming to that point in decision. And obviously, I think you were trying to shy away from that before because you didn't want to potentially deter any TV opportunities. I think in the past, that it felt that way. Now, It's like you're getting to the point where you're like, every year I'm getting asked and every year I'm doing more research, and it does sound like something that's special. And you talked about the locker room environment and being a part of something is special. That's normally what people say whenever they retire. What they miss the most is also not only being a part of something, but having a goal, having a mission, having a purpose. I don't want to say a purpose because everybody has a purpose, but whenever you're on a football team, it's like, hey, this is the objective. We are trying to win this weekend. We are trying to win this season. We are trying to win this day. That structure too, people miss. And you think you'd be able to get right back into that whole world? I think so.
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty structured now. I'm wired that way. I kind of have a routine-based personality. I think there's two things part of it too. Like, I go back to the moment when Kevin O'Connell, after that Vikings win over Green Bay a couple weeks ago, and he was just in the locker room watching the team embrace Sam Darnold. Imagine that feeling, like as a coach, taking that player and bringing him to a place that's got to be such like a fulfilling experience. And also, I remember having a conversation with JJ Redick this past offseason when he was in conversations with coaching and whatnot. And one of the things that stood out to me that he said was he has a son, and he really wants his son to kind of experience growing up in that environment as well. I got 3, so there's a lot of appeal to it. There is. I do think, I have a ton of respect for those coaches and the grind that they go through, and they obviously have done it for a long time. But I think anything in life, as long as you're passionate about it and you try to outwork every human being that is on the planet at it, you'll be better than them.
Yeah, I think that is a key to success. And some people forget the work ethic part of things. They think they just fall to the top of the mountain. That is not the case. And if you're willing to put those hours, A.Q. was a coach for a little bit. He wasn't a quarterback coach. He was a assistant offensive line coach.
Yeah.
Obviously the hours, you got 3 kids, so you understand that. And you've had to watch film, and 4 kids, 3 boys. Beautiful baby girl who's tough as nails. She is absolutely.
She's an absolute problem.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's much cooler than her dad. That is that is like an easy thing. But coaching that is a very time-tasking job, which I think is why AJ and I are like, we're not supposed to be coaches because there's a lot of desk watching, right? Isn't that kind of how it goes?
Well, that's just from the beginning of time, that's what they did. I mean, back in the day, the reason it's called cut-ups is they literally had to cut up film, and it took that much time. Technology has made things a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get the same work done without the same amount of hours, but we're still living in the old world of have to be there.
Yeah, and not only do you just have to be there, you have to fix things whenever technology kind of takes a dump all over itself.
That's right.
So this is Super Bowl champion.
Look at that. Look at that.
This is Super Bowl champion, 12-year NFL vet.
I fixed this shit out of that copy machine. Let me
Yeah,
tell you.
that copy machine had no chance against you.
No chance. That mask had no chance against my nose either, as it was down over my neck
or face.
Yeah, but to be clear, I think whenever AQ was done with that, he was incredibly pumped that he helped the team, which is
selfless.
Something that you get to experience whenever you join a team or you become a coach about. You contribute to something bigger than yourself, and you actually get to reap the benefits from it all. I'm excited to kind of watch. Go ahead, AJ.
Dana, we're seeing it seems like more teams this year after the season they're talking about accountability and fining players for being late. It sounds like star players on multiple teams might be showing up late or not doing what they're supposed to do at times. Is this something when you talk to coaches around the league? Is this a league-wide problem? Is this something that you feel like is easy to correct for teams that may have this issue, or do you have to clean house and figure things out?
Yeah, I don't think it's an easy correct. I mean, I think that one of the things that has constantly been a part of the NFL, and one of the reasons why there was such an admiration for what Bill Belichick and the Patriots did was, most of the people that are players on your team make more money than most of your coaches. And there's a handful, if not more, guys on your team, they make more money than the head coach. And so, a lot of times, I'm sure we've all experienced it where a head coach does something, and guys like, I make double the amount of money, triple the amount of money you make. So there's nothing for us to talk about here. I haven't had really experience with coaches referencing that has been an issue and whatnot, in our conversations we had Harbaugh. So Harbaugh's the most kind of positive person I've ever been around. I do think it's an issue. I do think it stems back to kind of where the era that we're in now with youth sports and entitlement. There's a ton of entitlement in youth sports, and I think that goes all the way up to high school, and there's a ton of entitlement in high school sports, and then it obviously goes into the college world, and the NIL has been very positive. It's also created some butterfly effect that hasn't maybe had a positive impact, and entitlement is certainly a part of that. And so I think that there's just an era of athlete going into the NFL that's a little bit different than the ones of the past. It doesn't make it, I guess, bad. I don't want to, but it's different, and it's another thing that those coaches kind of have to handle.
You would have to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get the right people though.
What?
Right people.
You're saying just into your quarterback room. We're going to figure out who doesn't have this issue before having to deal with the issue. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that when at any level you're trying to get people into your building or whatnot, high school, you got to make sure, especially nowadays, that those people are wired the right way, made of the right stuff, think about it the right way. That's one thing. I think that's why general managers are becoming so popular in college football as well, too, is you got to handle a lot more, and that's one way to deflect it as the coach is, I don't want to deal with that. You hire it. You hire someone to deal with it.
No turds. They're going to sneak through there. They're going to be like those Houdini dumps that are down there in the bottom. You can't even see them.
That's right.
And then every once in a while, they're going to fester, and you're going to need boom, Dove man, whole body Dio, because even after a little bit of boom, dingle bell, dude wipes. You're gonna make sure that stanky ass doesn't smell, and that's those Houdini.
Not a
dumps.
problem. I got so many dude wipes still at my house. It's great.
Yeah, it's because you farted on air all the time.
Yep.
That became your trend. I don't know if that's gonna be your quarterback room. Hey guys, welcome to today. I don't know if that's gonna be your gimmick.
Dude, we were in Baltimore for Week 18. We did the Browns Ravens game, and we went down on the field. So me, Fowler, and Lewis went down on the field right before kickoff, essentially, just to wander, say hi to some people. And as I'm walking just off the sideline to go back up to the booth, some dude yells from the stands, "Get Was it a fart? Yes or no?
Oh, that's awesome.
I looked at him. I hit him with like a shrug, and the whole group was like,
Yeah, got jacked up. Shout out to the boys over there in Baltimore, obviously. They've seen the clip. Watch you just fart right live on air. There's actually a sign outside that's still outside the gate. Oh, yeah. And it was...
Still there?
Yep, and it's actually on the Google Images now, I think, if you were to look. It is actually a part of the building. So a lot of people are wondering about your flatulence. There it is. Why don't you hold them in, keep them in there, and good luck with whatever you do. I'm excited to watch how you handle all of those things. Let's talk about the future of the NFL. Obviously, a rookie superstar, potentially. D-Butch has a question for you.
Yeah, you're talking about coaching in the quarterback rooms. The number one pick this year, Caleb Williams. Obviously, we see what Cliff was able to do with Jaden still playing. Sean Payton was able to do with Bo Nix. I believe I saw a tweet. I don't know if it was AI or not. But you was tweeting saying, I can make Caleb – or I would make Caleb a superstar. I just want to know if you were to get into that room with him, how would you coach him, to see that growth and see him take the next step on this level?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people could do that because he's super talented. I think the number one thing you have to get him to do is play in structure and realize the benefit of that. It's not just, hey, you got to learn how to play in structure and play on time and play into the rhythm of the offense and have that be a focus point. You got to get them to understand the why behind that. Hey, why is playing in structure such a big deal? And also making sure that you don't try to take away the special talent that he has. I think that's the biggest challenge is the last thing you want to do is steal his magic. And last thing you want to do is take away the reason why you drafted him number one, because he has uncoachable traits. But the uncoachable traits don't matter, nor do they ever get to show up unless you are consistently as a quarterback within timing, within rhythm. Because there's 4 or 5 plays a game as a coach where the defense wins the rep. The defense has the perfect play call, and they play it perfectly. All 11 guys on defense. That's what makes Lamar, and Patrick, and Josh, is you can play it perfectly, and it won't matter. They could defy the laws of physics. They could break the rules of your defense, and Caleb has that talent. But it doesn't get to show itself unless you are willing to do what's needed in that play. I think that the number one starting point, D-Bud, is, okay, what play are we calling? And you got to get him to completely understand what play you're calling. What's the opportunity in that play? If we get this defense, how do we hurt it? And what's the problem of that play? If we get this defense or this pressure, what's our answer? We have to have an answer for everything. Okay, the second thing is, what's the defense? What does the defense mean to me? I think we lose sight of that so consistently. These teams, they call plays. And then the defense, you're going to the line of scrimmage and you don't know what you're getting. And so the defense is asking you a question of like, what are you going to do with this front or this pressure or this coverage? You got to have the answer to that. And that's what is playing in structure. And that's what's playing on rhythm. That's what allow guys to play fast. And then you always, I remember Gary Kubiak constantly having us as quarterbacks, we would study the game plan. Every single play we'd have to know, and we would have to know exactly what was the number one defense that was a problem for every play. If you got to line of scrimmage, you got this defense, or what would be the defense that's the problem at the line of scrimmage? If we got cover 4 and they match everything on the inside, well, then what's the answer? Where does the ball go? And so I think that's the starting point for Caleb and his development. I also think this, though, for a guy, he's interesting in this regard, D, but he makes some throws that are unbelievable. Yeah. Like the accuracy is remarkable. And then there's throws where you go, why'd you miss that one by 5 feet? And so I do think there's just the constant improvement of, and mechanically he's not flawed. He's pretty darn good mechanically. The constant improvement of the visual element of things, I think, improves his accuracy in those moments.
Okay, so Caleb Williams, potentially a superstar, going to have to learn a lot. I think the one game we were watching, I don't know who was calling it. Basically, he was breaking down how it was you. Actually, it was a clip that you posted on X. I think the way the defense showed, it was an obvious he's supposed to throw left situation. Very easy to read. It was cover 2. We're doing this on this particular play. We're going left. Instead, he sees it and he throws to the right, which was not the right play within that particular play, which I think is what you just kind of tried to lay out. I don't think a lot of us understood that until I saw the clip where it was like, hey, the quarterback's job, if they see this, even within this play, is like, hey, we're going right here, right now. This is the answer to the test right now. And then whenever you miss it, if it's not pointed out live in real time, I think a lot of us just think, that was a stupid play. That was, like that. That's
kind of like for me, Pat, I don't like when people say, well, quarterback, you can't predetermine your throw. Why? I mean, why do we get into certain formations as an offense, and why do we motion people in certain ways? Well, we're trying to create information. We're trying to get. So if I know you're in a certain coverage, and I know that this is the concept that we have called, and it's the perfect concept versus that coverage, why would I not? Now, I don't think you assume things. You got to confirm that the defense is what you're expecting, but it very much so. Like, that's how you get to play fast. That's why these teams get into certain formations and motions. And so I do think that's a part of it, is just really, really getting those young players, and Caleb specifically, to understand all of that, the why behind it, and then letting it loose, man.
Yeah. You got to cover up the body ass stink, you know? You got to cover up the bad football. You got to cover up the bad play. You got to put Dio. Your name's Dio while he's giving this answer. And you cover up bad shit. I mean, you should have a deal with them. So, like, I know we got you a Dude Wipes deal. You're welcome. You know?
You did. Thank you.
And potentially your ESPN deal. You're welcome. But
I'll take that as well. You sent my daughter to Taylor Swift, so thank you for that as well.
Yeah. This one, it feels like a natural fit. As you were doing this, I'm like, oh, Dano's coming in and kind of cover up people's stink on this. And then I literally staring at him like, Dano's whole body, Dio. He's bad football, Dio. Is this all an audition to these answers he's been given? It sounds like he's trying to tell people, like, hey, I know football.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, man.
You know what he is?
Yeah.
You know what he?
Maybe. Stay away.
You have a
from
playbook, Dan?
Chicago, you might have your guy where they're looking for a head coach.
Yeah, that's happened before, right? Where an owner has watched somebody on TV say something and be like, yeah, why don't my people say this? Hey, you're out. Hey, excuse me. Would you like to come in? That's happened very much through the history of sports media in the NFL. Dano's just saying, hey, just here's my thoughts, here's my philosophy. Now, AJ, you asked a question there that I think is a big one. Did you say?
I said, do you have a playbook that you would take into an interview, Dan, if you were someone said, hey, you want to be our OC or quarterback coach?
Yeah, I would morph the playbook of the Kyle Shanahan, Gary Kubiak, Mike Shanahan stuff. So a little bit of what Kyle does now, I think a little bit of what Kevin O'Connell does now, and then I would also morph a little bit of the Joe Brady, Liam Cohen stuff that they do, which is a little new age 4x1, outnumbering people, the use of two back, but kind of two halfback, maybe not just a fullback. I love the versatility of Buffalo's offense, Baltimore's offense. So I think it's kind of a combination of the stuff that's been in the league for a long time, but some of the new age 4x1 RPO quarterback design run.
Okay, so I didn't know we were just going to do a coach's interview here, but what's your day one message to the group?
No.
If you could please tell, what are 3 key words? What is the mantra? What's the room going to be known for whenever you look back?
No. I'm not there yet.
Sound like,
well, let's get there.
Yeah. Why not? Why aren't we there? Well, that's a question I have in the interview.
Bad preparation.
Why aren't you there yet? Yeah, how come you haven't decided to do the coaching thing over the past couple of years? Were you scared of it? Did you think you weren't going to be good? Why is now the time that you're thinking about getting it? You miss it? Have you even tried it? Do you even coach your kids' team? Are you allowed to coach your kids' team in the county in which you live?
Boys got a big basketball game tonight. Undefeated versus undefeated. Big hoop game.
Holy. What are they? All 3 of them are guards, and then you just got 2 other guys playing?
Not dedicated to
two of them play. My third one doesn't play because he has autism, so he's just non-sports, draw everything, coolest kid in the world. I got one who's a 3-and-D guy, and then one who thinks he's Jason Williams, but he's more like
white chocolate.
Boston Connor.
Oh, well, you have no idea, brother. I got the elbow pass in my bag.
Boston Connor and White Chocolate are certainly playing 2 different styles of basketball. Connor is a stroker, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what AQ just said, Connor can
3-and-D.
He can splash it.
Yeah. I got a 3-and-D. Guess what the names of the 2 kids that we got to shut down tonight are? Westport, Connecticut. We got Bo
and Chaz.
Gunner.
Bo and Gunner?
Dogs.
Yeah.
You guys are screwed, dude. Bo and Gunner are about to go bananas out there. Do not let Gunner get hot early.
Gunner is this wiry, flowy, long-haired athlete that
Mick
just
White
shows
guy.
up and strokes, dude.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So how
He's got some Mick White
He's
guy
Mick
in
White guy up there at UConn. Yeah, the same exact kind of style and vibe for their men's basketball. How old are these boys that are playing?
These boys are in the 12-13 world, 7th graders.
And we're watching film already on the other team. Okay.
Yeah, how do you know so much about the opponent?
Win everything, one thing at a time, AJ.
Everybody knows about Gunner up there.
Yeah. Bo
and Gunner?
You kidding me?
Everybody.
Wait, you got
You're right. You're right.
When Orlovsky got coffee this morning, the guy giving it to him said, "Hey, good luck with Bo."
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that when he went down the street there. Okay, so your coach, what's the speech? Are we giving a speech? I'd like to hear how we'd maybe rally a bunch of 12-year-olds or maybe an NFL team that you're currently interviewing for.
You guys stop.
Publicly.
I'm not gonna be big. I won't be big pregame with them. Hey, let's go play our game.
It's another game.
Go play our game.
Just another game. Bo and Gunner
Go
over
play our
there.
game, boys.
They don't think it's another game, but
Yeah, they think it's
Now,
championship.
20 seconds in, I'll probably dog cuss one of my kids for not playing hard enough. But
Nice. How sweet is your timeout? You do big timeouts? How are we? Yeah.
I'm the assistant coach. My boy Chuck is the head coach. I'm the assistant. He knows a lot more about. I don't know anything about basketball.
Bo and Gunner taking on Chuck and Dan is a Connecticut matchup that they've been dreaming of out here.
Chuck couldn't sleep.
We were playing against Bo, Gunner, Hendricks, and Ari.
Oh shit, Hendricks and Ari. That's a tag team there at the back half
Hendricks
of the
is
roster.
a problem. Hendricks is a problem.
You don't like Ari? What's that all about?
Ari's a hooper, but Hendricks plays his freaking rear end off, dude.
Okay, Dan, you okay, AJ? You okay, AJ?
I have a son named Hendricks. It made me chuckle.
Yeah, okay.
I have a 12-year-old named Hendricks.
Yeah, Hendricks is a great name.
Is he playing in Connecticut?
Hendricks
Hendricks
is Axel rolling up there?
What the hell?
Could you imagine? Hold on now. I didn't know the 12-year-olds are doing this much scouting of rosters and film and everything in these tournaments. Think about when Axel Hawk is coming to town. As an 11-year-old, the other team, the coach.
Is this the puker?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the puker.
Is he a meathead?
Yeah, he is. But my 9-year-old right before that, after the Rose Parade, actually clogged up a toilet that had 20 people waiting for it because he put paper towels in it. This is Vetter. He turned 9 on the trip, and he came walking out with his shirt tucked in, and my 11-year-old said he just started dying laughing because he knew he took a dump in there, and then all of a sudden the lady walked in.
In a hotel, AJ?
No, in a Mexican restaurant at the Rose Parade. So there's like 25 people waiting for the one bathroom. Yeah, he put paper towels in because they were out of toilet paper.
What's the name
Hey,
again?
you know what's crazy?
Vetter.
The kid Hendricks that we're playing tonight, his little brother did the same thing in their house this week. It bursted the pipes. Their home is flooded, and they're living in.
Hey, look, he's laughing in their face. It's coldest it's ever been. They got some adversity. They got some adversity over there. Good luck to all parties. Good luck to all parties. Yeah, he does. He's got their signs. Yeah, he seems like he's in their huddle.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, up there in New England.
Hey,
If
you ain't cheating, you ain't
Connecticut
trying.
is not a New England.
What's that?
We do not claim them.
Yeah, it is.
They do not count.
Just yesterday, they said they were in.
They're just
We're
as much as
100% New England.
They're just as
100%.
much as the tri-state area. Okay, Westchester, all those, they basically are part of Connecticut. They can have them in New York. They're not New England.
Oh, so that's where the state. That's where New England is split to New York and New England.
Yeah, no, it's basically everywhere around Connecticut and up. Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine.
Why don't you claim Connecticut?
What's
That's
Nutmeg state.
yeah. What I mean, you is half the state, at least half the state. From the middle of the state north, they're all Red Sox fans, Patriots fans, Celtics and Bruins, and then half the state south is all New York.
So we're negotiating.
Bingo.
So half of Connecticut is New England.
No, we don't do halves. We do all or not, and that's why Connecticut's fucking out.
Live free or die, brother.
Bingo. You think New Hampshire's going to take some Connecticut shit? Give me a break.
Okay, let's get back to some football. Shout out to the Revolution.
Massachusetts people, man.
Shout out to the Revolution
They're called-
region, by the way. We
Yeah.
appreciate what you did up there.
You're welcome. You're welcome for your country.
Would that same area now do that?
We don't got to talk about it now.
Okay, all right. Let's move forward. Back into football conversation, shall we? The Revolution regions. There's so much history. You got married up there.
Yes, I did.
That church was I was a part of his
Oldest church in America.
George,
Yeah,
right?
George Washington used to be there. Yeah.
Rhode Island, proud member of New England.
It's like a trip to Europe real quick.
Yeah.
You know, you go back in time, just like whenever you go out to like wine country out there, complete opposite, but it is like you're in Europe. It's just a very different spot. Let's get back to football. Let's go to Philadelphia, okay? America's first capital. Hell yeah. USA. 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 Had to get one of those, camo shirt on.
Love it.
Had to do that. Hey, Q has a question for you about Philly.
Yeah, Dan, you did a breakdown the other day of Philly's offense, and you were defending Jalen Hurts and receivers not being open and this, that, and the other, right? So as you watch that film, who do you see as the fault of that? Do you blame Kellen Moore? Do you blame the receivers? Do you blame Jalen? Why are guys not getting open?
Yeah, I don't blame the receivers at all. I think it's probably a combination of Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts. I would say this: there's a lot of evidence that their pass game doesn't go over the middle of the field. So I would say that there's probably a amount of information that they have as a coaching staff that says they don't execute plays pass game wise over the middle field very well. So it's probably a little bit of trying to make sure that Jalen's in a situation where he's executing the plays that he's most comfortable with on a consistent basis. And it feels like a lot of those are on the perimeter. And then as Kellen Moore, he's trying to figure out how many different ways, or is there a different way to get the ball in a layered concept or crosses over the middle of the field? And so I think that's probably a little bit of both of them. I think as a play caller, you got to Kellen's going to have to constantly try to find some areas. Because if I was the Rams, defensively, I'm sitting there going, he's going to let you throw the ball outside this week. I'm going to make, and I think that's what Hafley did with Green Bay, was it felt like Hafley was like, all right, you're not throwing the ball on the perimeter. I'm going to force you to throw the ball over the middle field, and I'm going to cover it up in the ways that, because Jalen, specifically on the inside stuff, I think Jalen plays pretty decently in timing on the outside stuff, the stop routes, the out routes, the big comebacks, the go balls. But on the inside stuff, it's not bang, bang, piston like. And I think the Rams are going to be very aware of that and say, all right, we're not going to allow you to do that. So I think it's a combination of, Jalen's got to trust it a little bit more when he sees it over the middle field. And then Kellen's got to figure out ways that he can, live in the RPO world, live in the one-on-one world on the outside, try to create some play action chunk shots. And then is there a concept or two that he has supreme confidence in Jalen operating kind of really efficiently over the middle of the field? So I really don't believe it's a receivers can't win type of thing. I think it's a little bit of them figuring out, in playoff defense is what's best for them.
We're playing catch over here because we're getting so jacked up about football. When you talked about those throws that Jalen Hurts has to make, you're talking about the ones that got to have a little feather, a little bit of feather on that thing. Put it right. You got to have a little feather. You got to get over a layer and in front of somebody else. That's not easy. That's an elite thrower's quality. So you're kind of saying maybe he's not as confident. He can make those throws. He has shown that he's made those throws, but it's not every single time. And maybe he's gun shy on having to potentially do that, right?
Yeah, I think too is, go back to the Super Bowl year.
Tua's good.
I go back to the 22 season. Okay. I don't have a lot of memory of Jalen looking uncomfortable in the pocket, almost unwilling to step up into those seams. He did. Or he hung there and delivered the ball. I think last year, that started to show itself a little bit. It has a little bit this year. And so just getting him comfortable to not only like hanging in that pocket, but seeing in that pocket as well, I do believe is something that they're constantly trying to work through. And so, yeah, it is that, if you guys remember the Lamar, the 3rd and 13 touchdown to Bateman this weekend. Mm-hmm. Like it's just enough of air to get over an underneath defender's fully extended arm, but firm enough that it doesn't sail over that next level. Yeah, this throw, if this is that ball's probably, 10, 12 feet off the ground. So it's just over that second level defender, but also right in kind of that chest breadbasket area for Bateman.
Is that double-barreled to the camera there? That double pointer fingers. It was double pointer fingers. He's pointing at you. You should see how good of a throw that was by Lamar, I think, is what he was doing to the camera after the celebration, which looked awesome. But, yeah, that's the elite arm talent that Lamar has displayed. I think he was just pointing, you.
That looks like a bop.
No, he said, you. Need to see what Lamar just did from my angle. That's what he said. He said, wait till you get the Sky Cam, the all 22 on this thing. You're going to be really impressed. But to your point, that touch and everything like the pinpoint accuracy, and then the what would that be called whenever you're assuming he'll be at a position?
Throw it to a spot.
Throw it to a spot, but confidence, that's anticipation. There it is. The anticipation on speed, on where. That's all just like a natural feel. I think it has come like it's just natural for Lamar as opposed to thinking about it all, which is potentially happening with some of the younger guys.
CJ's great at it as well. CJ is sensational throwing some of those big ends to Nico. That's where, those reps of timing and what's the landmark for the route. D-Butt knows that so well. That's why defenders try to get hands on guys because, hey, I want to throw this football.
Disrupt the route.
4 yards. I want to throw this ball off X hitch, 4 yards inside the hash at 18 yards. And I got to trust that you're going to get there. So as a quarterback, I'm like, I'm cutting this sucker loose. And, Carson Palmer was the greatest ever at it. One of the. Like that ball there.
Peyton Manning played football, so Carson Palmer is certainly good.
Underrated.
Okay, but what you were just underrated.
Hey, Carson and Ocho were so good at it.
Okay, I agree. Listen, I agree. I agree 1,000%. But we're having a Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning conversation now all of a sudden.
No doubt.
And there is also Reg in that entire time. Dallas Clark at the tight end position. The amount of reps they took was because this thing is leaving my hand. You're going to be nowhere near looking at the ball. And the DB is actually going to think there's no way the ball is in the air right now. And as soon as that boom, it's just right in the spot. He was like but the amount of reps they had to take to get there. I mean, it was just like, we're repping this out, we're repping this out, we're repping this out, we're repping this out. So many. Like getting a chance to watch like an off-season workout through that entire lockout year, it's like, holy shit, I didn't know it was like, it is like, we're going to be on the same page for sure, no matter what. And then you'll have to see the defense the exact same way as well. And it's like, that's why they were such a machine almost.
I mean, Debo just told me a story about Brady.
Bingo. Burrow, Jamar, go ahead, pal.
Debo just was talking about Brady and like the shoulders he was throwing to.
Yeah, in practice one time, a guy because he would throw it let's say you're running a crossing route from his left to right, and if he would hit you on that back shoulder, it was intentional to basically take you away from the defender so you catch it and go back that way. So if you were to catch it and go this way, hey, I put it there for a reason. Like Wes Welker, we say hospital balls. And that's why Tom speaks so much about quarterbacks putting their receivers in danger. Like, look, it's not on the defenders to protect them. It's on the quarterbacks to do it. And now there are only so many quarterbacks that are that accurate when live bullets are flying. And he had to be that way. Peyton had to be that way. Drew had to be that way. When guys like Jalen, Josh Allen, Lamar are that way and throwing the ball with that type of accuracy, they're almost unstoppable because they're seeing defenses that they have to cater to their legs too. So you got to be more simple. Sometimes you're going to have more one-on-one matchups on the outside. So it's so different. But when those guys can beat you from the pocket, like Lamar, what he's doing this year, those guys are damn near unbeatable.
And that's why they always bring that up whenever it's like contract negotiations. Yeah. Everybody's like, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do that? It was brought up a lot with Lamar. Lamar is obviously clearly answering those questions. Let's talk about the quarterbacks now. We just talked about Lamar whenever he was potentially available to everybody in the NFL.
Yep. Potentially.
Swing and a miss on that one, guys.
Harbaugh said 200%.
They would have matched whatever the offer was. So you would have had to given up a lot. You would have had to outdeal the Baltimore Ravens, who were willing to give whatever if you listen to Harbaugh. Okay, if you listen to what Harbaugh was saying, let's assume they were all on the same page. But nobody even reached out, allegedly. Yeah. Nobody even. Let's talk about the quarterback market now. We would assume if Lamar Jackson was a free agent, he would get paid $100 million a year with how he's playing and how exciting he is. But Conman has a question for you.
Yeah, Dan, how do you feel about the QBs available? Obviously, Darnold, Rodgers, possibly Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco is in there too. There's a lot of QB questions for a lot of teams. How do you feel about the guys available in free agency? And then is the draft class where teams are going to look to? Because right now the narrative is the QBs in the draft aren't the greatest QB draft class of all time.
Yeah, I think Sam Darnold's clearly the best option when it comes to the realistic free agents. I know the last 2 weeks, I think what we've learned from Sam Darnold, you win a lot of games with Sam Darnold. As long as he's got that structure, that scheme that's really good, the play action centric, offensive line, skill people on the outside, you'll win a lot of games with them. I do think it's fair to say over the last 2 weeks, we've learned you're not going to win games because of him. And the offensive line didn't play well. They got covered up. So, that is a reality. So if you're a team that, hey, we got to get just a really good player at that position. I want to get Baker Mayfield or Geno Smith. That's kind of like the lateral correlation. I think Sam's going to be that guy for somebody. I actually thought Rodgers, listen, if Rodgers wants to come back and play, I still believe Aaron's playing winning football. I thought his last 8 weeks when he got a little bit healthier, that was very obvious. And so do I think that, it's got to be in a situation that's ideally because of the age and his health? No question about it. Russell Wilson, I think the last 3 years we've figured out kind of where Russell is in his career. He's going to hold the football on a long time. If you can create some one-on-ones, he's got a chance to be a really good player throwing the ball downfield. I do believe he's not what he was 5 years ago. That's not some earth-shattering statement. The Fields thing is interesting to me and also frustrating to me at the same time because Pittsburgh, and I heard you guys talking about it, and obviously it's been a conversation all week. Like, this is one of the reasons why so many of us, and me very much so, was so convicted about keeping Justin on the field. Because now you still don't know. You still don't know anything. And for 2025, that position is a giant question mark. And it's like, well, bring back Justin Fields. But what do we really believe about Justin Fields? Where if you just had him play this year, I still think you would have been a relatively similar team. And at least you would have had the body of work of, nope, this guy can't do it. And we're going to not have him a part of our future. Or like, we are convinced that this guy's got a really bright future and he's going to be our at least starting point quarterback wise. And so the draft, I would tell you this, they're all very interesting. Shador doesn't have number one pick traits, but he's going to be in the conversation because physically he's not wildly impressive. He's not big. He's not crazy athletic. He's not a physical phenom. Cam Ward is a physical phenom. You're going to have to get him to play a little bit more in structure, a little bit like Caleb was coming out. I think Quinn Ewers is interesting because of what he, accomplished in his career. Milroe is interesting, just because he is a physically impressive human being. So I don't think it's this year's class. No,
I'm sick of it. Will Howard is getting zero respect. And he can't even go back, right? He's got no years.
This is last year.
He's definitely going to the NFL.
Mm-hmm. The big son of a bitch.
Can move, too.
I don't know enough about his game.
Are you watching? Oh, you just watch the play. He's got Jeremiah Smith. He's got Igbuka. He's got Tate. He's got Judkins. He's got Henderson. I mean,
pretty good.
I mean, he's got, and the tight end has the greatest name of all time named
G. Scott.
Oh, Kazmarek, you saying?
Oh, yeah, and G. Scott Jr.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of weapons. That's not his fault.
He was
okay? That's not his fault.
He was no slouch at Kansas State, though. That's why Ohio State was like, hey,
still got to put it on him.
Here.
And he's got bop, too. Seen him skip around. I mean, he is, as we wrap up here on ESPN, he'll be back on NFL Live in just a matter of a few moments. We'll continue on ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, YouTube, and TikTok Live for the final few days. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. TikTok's done, Dano.
Dead.
Have you heard about that, Dan?
You got TikTok, Dan?
I have heard about it, yeah.
Dan, you've definitely done this a couple times.
Some coastal elitists could go buy that.
Yes.
Thank God.
Some coastal elitists could go do that. Dan, why don't you go find the money to buy TikTok?
Talk to Bubba.
All right, you'll be my first call.
Okay, well, too many people are doing that these days. So we're never going to get to that point, I believe. But it is an honor to do that. The thought of that, we still got days,
It ain't going.
Deadlines.
Yeah, Deep's right. Feels like it's already too ingrained. It's already too deep.
I wonder if the government people know. Like, hey, everybody's on it.
Well, don't the government people and their kids, they're not allowed to have it on their phone? Wasn't that put in place a couple years ago?
Yeah, and I wonder if they have conversations with, because it's being tracked by China.
Everything's tracking you. Everything's tracking you.
Everything. But I wonder if they ever have conversations with real people and understand, like, hey, he booked a honeymoon on TikTok. People are using it as a search engine.
It's a big deal.
Sports are on our shows. Sports are on TikTok and do very well on TikTok. It's a lot of things for an entire generation. It's like, if you want to be the biggest heel on earth, okay, and I don't know if that's the game, and just piss off an entire fucking generation, I think this would be an easy way to let that happen. I think.
Yeah, but the biggest
but who do they blame, though?
Owns it.
Yeah, you got to blame. Hopefully, we're blaming China.
Well, that's what they're worried about. Is in 2 years you're going to be booking your honeymoon to the Shaanxi province.
Well, and then I'll go check out.
Go look at the Great Wall of the Forbidden City.
And Ed.
Yeah. Jing Jing. You want to go see Jing Jing? See, that's the only reason I want to keep to stuff like TikTok, because Jing Jing might not be available to the public without.
Dude.
This is how. What do you? You don't know Jing Jing.
You don't know Jing
Please
Jing.
pull up Jing Jing, please. Could you please?
How do I spell?
Xing, Xing. The way Connor pitched it to me.
What am I pulling up here?
This isn't meat spin, bro.
Don't worry. We got a couple others I can send you.
Yeah, if you would like. Rest in peace.
And I'm pulling up a visual or?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just an Instagram. It's maybe the cutest thing I've ever seen.
There's Xing.
Oh, it's a chimpanzee or something?
Whoa!
I don't think that is.
That is one fat monkey.
She ain't just some chimp, and she's not a fat monkey. It's how she was built.
No, she is a fat monkey.
That's what I say.
She's got a thyroid issue.
She's built like that.
She's got bigger bones, heavier bones. But
is it what?
She's built different.
This is Xing, and Connor pitched me Xing yesterday, saying, "Listen, I know you don't do all the internet stuff. I know you don't buy into all the stuff. You need to get on board with Xing."
Yeah.
And I said, "Excuse me."
I'm a hard pass on that.
You're a fool.
Dano's out. I think I'm out too. But
What do you do with this?
You just follow along. You watch this monkey
What else
just
does she
act
do?
like a human.
Bring up Xing. Bring up Xing
Connor,
peeling
you
the
gotta
banana
get
with
a
her mouth,
freaking life,
please.
dude.
If we're gonna watch any
She peels
video.
this banana so cool.
You got to get a life. Get a life, dude.
This is my life, brother.
Zing,
Yeah.
dude. The way he sold it to me.
You got to get a life.
Zing,
dude.
zing is like Ed in Mandarin.
Bingo.
Don't worry about it. Just check it out. Do it. Do it. And I looked at this monkey. I said, it's a damn cute monkey.
It's a great monkey.
But I don't know. The TikTok thing is a real conversation because it's potentially happening on Sunday. Obviously, with everything in the government, I don't follow along as much. And I guess there is a lot of people that go like, well, who cares? And it's like, well, that might be the way it ends up working out.
Gallagher cares.
And if that takes, you know who else cares? Talk.
Well, that's because we're gonna have to shoot him in the head if we don't save
We
him.
won't do that. We won't do that.
We might.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is being reported that Mr. Beast has put an offer in to buy TikTok. I know Mr. Beast is an absolute phenomenon. This man started as a teenager, understanding YouTube and the algorithm, and then literally created a business through that has made him a billionaire. I mean, and everything. He is genius, this Mr. Beast. I think it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah,
I don't think it's just being a billionaire is going to be.
Was 60 is that the number?
So allegedly, Mr. Beast and a group of billionaires, hopefully they're able to go get enough money from one of these companies that has a shit ton of money to be able to go. 40 billion was X or Twitter.
How would they make money? Like, how does the thing make? How do you, like why like
Everybody on Earth's on it. It's a platform. You sell that. You do the whole just standard operation. Maybe subscription service like Elon chose to do with Twitter. I assume there's some merch. I think Twitter X was trying
so
to do.
people you pay to use TikTok?
No, but nobody paid to use Twitter either. And then basically kind of became a point where you're going to pay $3 a month, except for some people who've held out this entire time. And anytime I see that, I really think to myself, wow, you really saying I ain't fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Because basically everybody else there, you could potentially do that. I don't know if everybody on TikTok would do that. A majority of people on X chose to do that and said, yeah, this thing's worth $3 a month. I assume TikTok people could do the exact same. Yeah. Now, I think it would take a long time.
We pay you to use Twitter now?
What's that?
You pay a monthly fee to use Twitter now?
So there's like a premium option, where you can post videos. Yeah, it's Dan.
So do you, Dan. They got you.
This is part of the problem.
Yeah, you got the check mark, Dan.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys? Somebody was it you who made a big deal about it, Dano?
What, having to pay for it?
Somebody was complaining about it, I remember.
Everybody was complaining. I'm not paying for a blue check.
A lot of people saying I just got it. I didn't pay. I don't know how I got it though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a blue check before it all happened, and whenever they were like $3 for this, it was like, you got it.
Sure.
Puts
all the information in one spot.
Yeah,
Congregates everything for you.
I fucking learn everything in my life basically off of this thing. So I spend hours on here. So if it's going to cost $3 to keep this thing going, so be it. I'm just paying the corner almost is what I think. $3 a month, you got it. I know there was a lot of people that are pissed off about it. I could understand where they're coming from, but like I'm on there, So like for these people that are on TikTok, I would assume that they'd be okay saving it by doing it in a fashion.
100%. I don't know where all those people are going to go if TikTok is banned. Like, are they just going back to Instagram?
They all are going to China
to follow TikTok,
so they can still use TikTok.
All the dances.
You're this guy, man.
They're going to build houses.
Literally anything.
Dan, that is the whole conversation around TikTok. I don't think you understand.
Is it?
Yes. I don't think that's what you are understanding about this entire.
I say anything. The gourd on this guy.
Yeah.
to tell me that. Okay.
All right, Dan. We appreciate you. Good luck on NFL Live. 1 hour from now?
2 hours. We're on at 4 o'clock. Mondays we're on at 3, but thanks.
That's right.
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
Every day, 4 o'clock.
Every day.
That shows, except for on Mondays, obviously, 3 o'clock. How much fun are those 4 o'clock hours in the office when we're watching the NFL Live crew?
We all gather around.
We do. And whenever he goes virtual reality.
He did it yesterday.
Yeah, I remember.
We are.
You're plugged in.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
What time do you guys get into the office, to your building?
Facility?
There's early workouters. I think Gumpy's in here like 7 a.m. working out.
6:45, 7, yeah. At the facility.
And then what time are you guys there till?
Depends on the day. There's a lot of shit going on.
More often than not.
I don't know. Probably 5:36. You know, that type of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on.
You guys.
It's up to something season right now, so there's something big coming.
Yeah.
Something big coming. I saw you were trying to jack up to something season. What's going on? You up to
I'm
something?
not trying to.
Is this
I'm
the
not
coaching
trying
thing? Is this the coaching thing?
I am not trying to jack anything. Nope.
I'm fucking
I'm
around.
just getting ready to do NFL Live.
You don't have to. I'm not saying I own up to something.
Don't be a jag off.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, stop being a jag. You're right, Gumpy. This guy is being a jag off right now. What is up to something season? You creating something? We doing big business? We got an idea, or is it the coaching thing? You're doing those texts or tweets again. Make yourself irreplaceable. Never know what the future
but
holds.
I've sent that a bunch this year.
I know. That's what we're saying.
It's only been 15 days in the year. That's the whole entire thing.
Subtweet king.
Saying it over and over.
Yeah, this year, technically.
I heard that, D-Butt.
These tweets get me juice when I'm on the elliptical in the morning. I see these from Dan. I'm fucking just keep going.
They hit like renegade.
God, you're an elliptical guy?
I'm old, Dan. My knees, I ain't got much left, all right?
Who's you?
39.
He was a soccer player, too. A lot of running.
You're young, dude.
I worked at the shipyard for 15 years. I've seen some things.
He's inhaled a lot of things, too, you know. A lot of inhaled stuff. But Gumpy's brain is working in a high clip, and he's in there every single morning getting after it. And, you know, when you put those tweets out, we all do go, is everything okay?
Dan, okay. And
then he goes up to something season, and he responds to that. It's like, oh, Dan's cooking something.
Well, little did we know that tweet was actually about his boys taking on Bo and Gunner tonight.
That's right. Chuck and Dan.
7:30 tip.
All right, well, good luck in the championship tonight. I hope Chuck has a good game plan.
It's all on him. Yep, it's all on him.
I hope Hendricks and Ari really go ape
You got
shit
good memory, man.
tonight.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything about Ari still, about his play.
Ari's a hooper. Ari's like a long hooper. He's a good player. I don't know a lot about his game because the other kids that I do know are lacrosse kids. I'm a little bit more ingrained into like the lacrosse world with these kids. I think Ari's the better basketball player, but I like Hendricks just freaking plays freaking hard, dude. So I know that's gonna happen.
Freaking tough.
Same with Bo.
Yeah.
And Gunner's a hooper.
These are all lax kids. What do I do now? What do I do, Connor? I'm really good with the lax stick. Actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're working on split dodges yesterday.
Yeah, split dodges. Yeah. And then also, hey, you ever seen one of these things? Huh? You ever seen one of these?
They're cradling.
Bang, 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 bang.
How about that?
How about it? Huh? This is Notre Dame stick, too. This is a national championship back-to-back. Don't you worry about it. Looking to go for 3. All right, Dano. How about the lacrosse guy for Golden State? Who was that?
Spencer. Him and his brother, both in the NBA.
Okay, and then we got Faison playing for Notre Dame in the national championship wide receiver. He's a member of the
Notre Dame lacrosse team. Yep.
Yeah.
Pison.
Boston Connor, the kid from there's a kid from Cheshire, Connecticut, which you probably know of the town. He's going to Notre Dame to play both as well. He might be there now. Gosh, his name.
Oh yeah, he's the number one. He was the number one recruit for lacrosse. He's on the team right now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, in the country.
Yeah, he was the number one recruit in the country. He's playing both football and lacrosse at Notre Dame.
Yep.
I forget his
name.
name.
Lacrosse, the Kavanaugh
Matt
boys?
Jeffries.
Who?
There it is, Jeffries.
I think his name is Matt Jeffries.
Matt knows the standard at Notre Dame lacrosse is high. Same with the football team. I assume this guy is a weapon of a being. That lacrosse video watching the Notre Dame win was cool.
Yeah,
Notre Dame lacrosse celebrating the Notre Dame football.
They were just looking for any jersey too, and it just so happened the only jersey they could find was Jeter's. So it was like perfect.
What a perfect moment. That lacrosse team is a wagon up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're legit, and they feel good about a three-peat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they actually do. Yeah,
they still got a Kavanaugh boy up.
They still got one.
If I do recall, he's the one that had his first appearance on the program. Well, he had 2 black eyes and a shiner on his forehead.
Hungover as hell.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
Couple pops the night before.
Yeah, we saw him at the Notre Dame IU game.
And he was having...
We were hanging out with those lads.
A proper time.
We were having a good
proper
time.
football time.
Oh, yeah.
I like that Notre Dame lacrosse team. All right, just like we like this guy. Good luck with whatever you're subtweeting about, and good luck with all the coaching interviews that you're going to do privately after this public one. You're the man. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Be good.
Would love to have you on our team, coaching.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Orlovsky.
Like this team, not like the Colts or the Patriots.
I don't know, dude. He's pretty diligent. I think he would give maximum effort. He does that seemingly everywhere. He does. Everything he does. Too much. Hey, we need to take on everything. He goes fucking full speed.
Yeah.
Authority on quarterbacks.
Does full speed.
Yeah.
I love whenever people go, I don't see how this guy's watching all the film. Let's do some math here. 60-minute games, this many games, and somehow he has a full take on everything by 8 a.m. Okay, there ain't enough time in the day. And then Dan had to come back. I have to prioritize my film study, but I do want to watch every single play of every single game. It's like, of course Dan does. I think that is how he is. He really was lobbying there for a job, AJ, I think.
Yeah.
Not
You know
lobbying.
he's got a plan. Has he interviewed for any jobs in the past?
I think he's, I don't know. You never know what's for leverage, and you never know what's real.
He's just waiting on the right opportunity, I would imagine. Like that's
Rex Ryan is currently campaigning for the Jets job publicly, which
Yes.
I respect mightily, out of Rex Ryan. If he wants the job, obviously saying I want it is a cool thing to do. I think that showcases a lot of bravado. But he's also potentially saying, hey, to ESPN, if his numbers up, like there's an option I could do that all the time. You know, like Gruden played the card perfectly every year. Every year. Oh, they want me to come back and coach. $5 million increase, new extension. Oh, they want me to come back and go. Boom. New extension, Monday Night Football.
Was he like 10 years? Did he do Monday Night Football for 10 years? It seemed like it was a while.
I think him and Tariqa, right? That's who it was?
Yeah.
Him and McDonough.
Towards the end.
At the end.
Oh, yeah, because Tariqa goes to NBC to do Olympic coverage and then inevitably Sunday Night Football.
That's right.
Yep.
He's great.
Tariq's good, really good.
He can do everything.
He's so smooth. You know, he's like so smooth he can call anything. But I think football calling, I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets juiced too. which
Yeah,
is
I like his energy.
Yeah.
I like what he does, and you can tell he's over prepared, which I appreciate because that showcases like work ethic and everything like that. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we got somebody that's been a fabric of the NFL for the better part of 2-3 decades at NFL Films. Yinzer, friend of the program, been on before. Talented guy.
Good lad.
Loves ball.
Yeah.
The NFL Films lads and ladies love ball. This guy does. From Pittsburgh. EP?
You could say that,
Sure.
I think.
They always have those letters in front of it. I never know which one.
He's heavily involved, so I think you could probably say he's like an EP.
Who? He's VP.
He's a VP.
Okay.
Of NFL Films.
Yeah.
So he's EP probably of everything.
Boom.
Guy's been there a long time. Like, long time at NFL Films. Yinzer, I mean, everything the NFL does has to go through the NFL Films. So the amount of shit that this guy has been a part, just different everything, seen it all, done it all. Now they're doing the Hard Knocks in season with the entire AFC North, which is now going to become a Raven show, we assume. Then also, what about the Giants off-season Hard Knocks? Are we doing that again? Cannot wait to chat about that and more with a man who's been a part of the NFL for like 30 years on the inside. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5. They can run it, they can spin it, they can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now.
That's so stupid. That's crazy. And also take us off the fucking team. We do not deserve to be on there.
They all commit and love what's going on in that weight room. They all commit and love what Jim Harbaugh's preaching. And everybody in the building's happy. Everybody's like excited to be there.
Our first row, our pressure in the first row. Second row was on here.
It is infectious what they got going on. And how many owners are spending $300 million on a new facility just for a practice facility?
This is Butler Birdie's. Wow!
Oh my God! Oh shit! In the bunker.
Great shot. But then for them to do it upright for the last couple, it's like, what Look out for the Chargers, dude. Look out for the Chargers.
Coach. Hey, I got a gift for you.
Where you go?
Okay, so we missed your birthday, we missed Christmas. We couldn't have
Whoa, look at that.
Your perspective on high five is one of the greatest things we've ever seen. So long time greater than
I love the high five. Yeah, give each other a high five.
Boom!
Bam!
Boom!
Bam!
Boom! Boom!
Oh my God!
Wow! Boom!
So we wanted to make you basically something that you could high five. My dad made this.
Oh, wow.
He is talented.
Keep that feeling.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Boom. Boom. And we tested. I think you can get a pretty good pop if you need. Yeah.
That is incredible.
Obviously, national champion, Michigan man, greatest high five.
Yeah.
Because of what you brought for the high five world. He tried to give a handshake to that particular high five trophy. Did break the hand off. We had to put it back on.
Yeah, way to go handshake.
Oh no! Oh no!
There we go.
We have so much respect for you.
You guys just roll deep. This would be entourage level, wouldn't it?
To be honest, we didn't know we were going to be able to get 11 people in here, and then we would put up with it. We'd have 11.
That's where it should roll at 11.
Yeah, always start at 11. I mean, wow, it looks like a lot of highlights against one particular team.
They played more than one game. Why did they have all these TVs for one game?
Imposing our will.
This sucks.
Party in the back. No one. We mean no one. Outbeats us to Hutton. This might be close. I love that Chargers team even more now. If you were to touch this grass, it would feel as if the history of football was kind of one with your soul, one with your body. And then you look at the views, the sand
Gabriel
mountains with the cotton candy clouds, the way the sun will rise and then the sun will set, and as the sun is setting tonight, there's going to be a football game taking place. You're talking about movie stuff. What do you think it is about your team and that locker room, and why do you think you guys have been able to show up every week?
I think the buy-in on our team is unbelievable. We talk about a player-led team. I think a lot of people say that, but so rarely do you actually see it.
Two Goliath Big Ten teams. What a magical matchup here in the Rose Bowl. And watching Ohio State do what they did to Tennessee, it felt good for the North. They did. It felt good for the bowl.
Look at that field.
God, look at those mountains.
Look at those mountains. San Gabriel Mountains. There's the field.
The San Gabriel. Obviously.
San Gabriel Mountains.
I believe that means the Gabriel.
All parties and all agree that it's in the best interest of everybody and public safety that we postpone the game for 24 hours.
AJ Hawk's working for the bowl. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to beautiful Pasadena, California, the granddaddy of them all, the 111th Rose Bowl, which will be taking place on the most beautiful field in the history of football. The Oregon Ducks, who are the Big Ten champs, will take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. The college football playoff is obviously in the middle of a transition era, but we go back in time into a movie-like setting to battle in the Big Ten to see who gets to move on and who goes home. Our UFO just flew over top B-2 stealth bomber and in the national anthem. And on a day in the United States of America where a heinous act has happened, it's a nice reminder that we'll get your ass. You might take a shot, but you're never gonna win. An intent for Will Howard. Same exact play action. Drops it off to Jeremiah Smith. With space. He's a monster! Jeremiah Smith! First touch is a touchdown! Time. Shot down the middle. Puka. Ooh! Touchdown!
See the split safeties right here. So Will Howard knows his read, looks him off, steps up in the pocket. Great throw.
Takes a shot. And what happens? Jeremiah Smith comes up with the ball. Hand off. Run to the left. Jordan James. Ray Alba. Will Howard. Time. Oh, no. Jeremiah Smith's wide ass open. And that's a touchdown. Ohio State is Shite. Out of the Oregon Ducks. If Jeremiah Smith is on your team, I think you can win every game. Travion Henderson. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown. They can run it. They can spin it. They can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now. Gathers a low snap, rolls left, throws back to the right. Jeremiah Smith's on the field, so that's another first down. Thus far, this game has been absolutely shite. Boom, 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 boom. Step in. Oh my God. Wow. That is so beautiful. You got Matt Hardy on the left there. AJ, chance.
I see at the 47. Unfortunately, my youngest son puked all over himself, went to the hospital, so my whole family's not here anymore to hear that. But I'm getting some updates every once in a while. He seems to be doing not much better. He puked over the whole section. Jeez. Instant urgent care, instant hospital.
Oh, no.
What type of shite was he eating? Is someone making salmon down here? We came down here and smelled like fish.
Look at this. For those that have never been here, I would recommend coming and checking it out. Although this particular game was absolute shite. Woo! Roll ball.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Hour 3 of the program starts now.
Football!
It's wonderful. That's AJ Hawk. He has won a college football national championship. And how about the most recent Foxy flick of the Rose Bowl trip there? Way to go, Foxy.
Hell yeah,
Oh, yeah, boys. Good
Very
trade.
good.
That was a nice trip down memory lane there. Thank you for piecing that together and documenting the most insane run that any group of people has ever had before, seemingly. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. You boys look fantastic. Rooster's chicken right there on your forehead, huh?
Oh, yeah, I love Roosters. Just a perfect hat, just no mumbo jumbo, okay, just a name.
How about Roosters not making you dump all over yourself?
Yeah, very impressive because of how good it tastes. You'd expect some sort of dumps.
Fried chicken can eat it before having to do something. Mm-hmm. That's not normal.
No.
At all. Shout out to
They
Rooster.
should market that. Yeah, they should market that.
I was scared to death. You remember? I walked in there.
Oh, yeah, you asked me. You asked me.
You guys dump?
I need to know how everybody feels right now. Is everybody okay? Because obviously standing for this entire game, 4 degrees. AJ said, you're great. Don't worry about it. And then Ty even said, hey, listen.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Had it all, too.
And whenever I heard Ty's stomach could handle it, I knew we're in a good spot. It was delicious.
Delightful.
Delightful. High quality chicken over there.
Yeah,
And
great
beef.
burgers, too.
Yeah, they had, and they just supplied it all, kept it heated and cold for us, obviously. Over there in Columbus, they were incredibly hospitable. Shout out to Sean Perkins. Shout out to the Ohio State Buckeyes. What about that time and what the question marks were going into that game whenever we were sitting in that incredible lounge to where we are now with that Ohio State team? Vastly different. They're wagging national championship on Monday, live from Atlanta. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here. Us being on sideline for these games is so stupid.
Sick.
Get a chance to kind of witness who these guys are, I think, is a big deal for us. Remember, we saw it with, I think, Jackson Smith and Jigba. We saw it with C.J. Stroud as soon as we saw him whenever he played against Georgia. Obviously, we saw this Jeremiah Smith guy.
It's different.
He is a different he's a different person on the football field than everybody else that's on the football field with him.
Yeah, game wrecker. They got to figure out a way to get him involved early, I think, in this game, Notre Dame. Notre Dame plays a lot of man-to-man coverage, so I'm excited to see the different matchups that Jeremiah Smith will get on Monday. I'm sure he's itching to get that ball back in his hands after not having a huge performance last week.
Yeah, the Ohio State Buckeyes played nowhere near good in their eyes, I would assume. From what we had seen them do the past 2 weeks, they had mistakes that they don't normally make. Drop touchdowns by Tate, that's not going to happen, a majority of the time. Jeremiah Smith goes up for one, drops it early, which would have had them on the 1 yard line. He's catching that at literally every other time. There was obviously the 15-yard penalty from Travion Henderson to showcase a little bit of, a loss of composure. It's like, that's not what this Ohio State team has been. Are they able to get back to what they were? I think so. I think that's why we all think, like, they're going to be an absolute problem for Notre Dame. But Notre Dame, nobody projected this as well. No. Go back a few weeks. This is a special national championship on Monday. Team that won't be represented, but was close. Penn State alum, ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley.
Thank you.
Hey,
good year.
Hey. I said it, great.
Doing good.
Good year.
Good squad.
Drew Aller's going to come back, too.
All of them are coming back.
Is that good?
By the way.
Yeah, it's good.
The announcements on Instagram, I saw the long snapper did a I'm back thing today. I quit. I quit with the fucking announcements.
What?
I quit. I quit.
Long snapper should be the only one announcing it.
What is this?
What are you talking about?
I quit.
He's trying to tell his friends and family.
I'm proud of him.
Let him know.
Thank God he's back. I'm pumped.
He want to let his family know.
I'm back.
It's too much. Too much.
That was mean.
Kid's going to quit the team today.
Yeah.
How is his family supposed to know?
Fine. I'm out.
Like I saw the name pop
I
up.
won't tell anybody.
I said, "Who is Tyler J?" And look it up. It says long snapper. I'm back. I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
His family.
Can't do it.
That's cool.
Can't do it.
Hey, I'm happy you're back, dude. 1 more year spinning that thing. Good luck. There's only 32 jobs in the NFL. Literally no more. That is the only. There are 32 of them, and that's it. I don't think the UFL is paying for a long snapper. I don't think so.
Sorry, AQ hates you.
Yeah, and keep working, though. We're proud of you. Joining us now is a man who's been working in the NFL world for a very long time, almost as long as we've made him wait here, and we do apologize for that. Absolute legend from NFL Films, vice president at NFL Films, Keith Cosgrove.
Yay!
We wasted a lot of your life. We apologize, Keith. That's 100% on us.
Never waste our time, Pat. It's good to be back.
Okay.
Been a
Well,
minute.
how's NFL Films doing? Oh, well.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You
There we
put
go.
it-
Better? There we go.
Nailed it. That's on us. We should have probably went quicker and said right shoulder. Right? Yeah, that's on us. We could be a good team. Like you guys are basically the 33rd team of the NFL. Can we talk about how important the NFL Films, is to the entire operation that is the NFL? I think obviously we've chatted about it on our show before. I don't think we've had an opportunity to chit chat with maybe a new group of people that have been watching. But NFL Films has basically been a tag team partner of the NFL since I don't know what year, the beginning of almost televised football, and now. You guys have your hands in everything the NFL is a part of in creation and distribution, and you guys are like Scorsese level shit for the NFL, and I think you guys should get your flowers over there with everything you do for the league and for the sport that we all love.
Thank you. We appreciate all the love. We appreciate you guys have been great to us, and it's been an incredible time for us. We're busier right now today as we sit here than we have been, and we've been here since 1962 when the Sables shot the NFL championship game for the first time. So we're in the final stages of this marathon 4-team Hard Knocks with the AFC North, which has been an unbelievable challenge and a really cool show. And in our free time, we're making a late night show with Jason Kelsey. It's been a wild month.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in NFL Films all the time because of how much, there is to offer from the NFL, its players, its entities, and everything like that. Let's talk about the Hard Knocks in season with the AFC North. We were excited about it because it gave you an option to tell a story of a team, maybe depending upon how a season can go, can kind of ruin a season almost. Now, with 4 options, we were thinking there was going to be some magic somewhere. You certainly found that early. Obviously, the Steelers are on a run, then the Ravens go on a crazy run. They meet each other in the middle of this. How have you balanced who you showcase, how you showcase it, and is this the plan going forward in season for entire divisions to be a part of it?
I would go back. We first talked about doing this 5 years ago, this show, in this format, after we finished All or Nothing and the precursor to in-season Hard Knocks. We thought the best way to do it was with a full division. And then we had an opportunity to do in-season Hard Knocks with a single team, the Colts, 3 years ago.
Okay.
You guys were early adopters of that format. We talked about it. We talked about you were on top of it from day one. The Cardinals show, which was a really difficult one because their season was a mess. And then last year the Dolphins made the playoffs, but by that point we knew for sure that wasn't, in our opinion, we just didn't think it was the right format to do an in-season show. And the reason is when it goes south, it's just a really difficult situation for everybody involved. And nobody wants to watch a show about a team that's enduring that situation when everything, players are getting hurt, things are falling apart, people might be losing their jobs. That's not what that show is.
Hey, why don't you have a seat here and tell us about all the shit that stinks right now, please? And in doing that every single week, and then you're talking about losing jobs. It's like, hey, tell us about the worst day of your professional career here that's happening in real time 5 minutes ago before you talk to your family. Obviously, tell
By the way, we're not necessarily invited guests. The league has a resolution that the owners have voted on that allows NFL Films to select certain teams under certain conditions to do Hard Knocks. So at the end of all that, we just thought, if we're going to do an in-season show, we should do a whole division. You're guaranteed to get a winner. You're going to get a hat and t-shirt game. You're going to be able to feature rivalries, which is awesome. Like showing the Steelers playing the Ravens on Hard Knocks was an undeniably cool thing to be able to do. You caught it right away that showing two teams preparing for each other in a big game, which we saw right out of the gate with Steelers-Bengals, was really friggin' cool, and it's not something that you've ever seen before on television, really in any sport, and certainly not in real time. And when a team goes bad, the way, unfortunately, we saw the Steelers season end with 5 straight losses, we didn't have to dwell on them, and nor should we have, because the Bengals had picked themselves up off the mat, won 5 straight, and the Ravens became, a wagon. And we'll see how far they can take it.
Isn't it amazing how many stories? That's just one division in the NFL. There's so much shit everywhere. How many years have you been with NFL Films?
20. This is my 28th season. I got here in 1997.
Think about how much the league has changed, man. It's insane. And obviously content has changed a lot. You guys have had to adapt all of that. But whenever they talk about the ratings and dominating everything, it's crazy where the NFL has gone. And there's so many stories. It's so beautiful. And watching the Ravens here through playoffs, is that what we're going to do? We're with the Ravens through the playoffs?
We're with them as long as they're going.
How about Steelers, all this shit that's going on right now? Are you still there?
We're still there. The cameras are still up in Pittsburgh. We'll be taking them down, I think, at the end of this week.
I thought maybe we're doing the whole, which leads to and AJ, I think you were probably going to ask about this. Let's get off. How about the offseason Hard Knocks? Are we doing that again? That Giants one.
Need it.
Buddy. D-Butt, what's your vote?
Yes,
AQ, your vote.
Absolutely.
Ty.
Yeah.
Conman.
No doubt.
Age.
Yes.
100% of people surveyed said that it should come back.
All right, who's calling? All right, Darius, which GMs are you calling? AJ, you take the NFC.
Braves,
GM.
New England.
No, can't do it. First time, can't do it.
Take one division. We got to find a GM to do it. No, we're working on it. We're talking to a lot of teams. We'll see if it happens. We loved that show. I think it's one of the best shows we've ever made in our history, and I think we are so grateful to the Giants for taking that risk. And obviously, it's been talked about to death, and it's no fun for them to have to see those images pop up on their Twitter feeds, I'm sure, every day, and it's a bummer for us that it turned out the way it did their season, because who knows? You make decisions, you go through a process with a bunch of smart people, you make the best decisions you can under the circumstances, and in their case, they didn't turn out the way they hoped. And it happens in the NFL. It happens.
It was our first time seeing it, though, Keith. That was our first time seeing it. And, whenever the moment where Mara, the owner of the team, boss, jeez. It's going to be hard for me to sleep at night if Saquon goes to the Philadelphia Eagles and they go. No, I'm just letting you know. I've been here a long time. We've had a lot of players. He's the most popular one by far. By far. and then he walks out. Now Saquon's got a Sleep Number ad saying that he's sleeping soundly as a Philadelphia Eagle. And Mara allegedly reached out and said, hey, at least let me be a part of the ad so we can make this an entire thing. I think watching Joe Shane decide directly against that whole thing, where there is a hard implication coming from ownership.
Yeah.
Hey, this is how we want it to go. Now, granted, we are all people that we think ownership, if you're not good, get the hell out. And there might be some people that don't want Mara to have hands on there. But as we watch that situation and scene unfold the way it did with Saquon becoming the offensive player of the year for the rival Philadelphia Eagles for not that big of a contract, like 100 and something in the entire NFL or whatever it is, it's like, I don't know how you get any team to sign up for that ever again.
Nope.
I honestly don't know how you get. Legitimately, are there going to be teams like the in-season Hard Knocks or the training camp Hard Knocks that'll kind of be, I don't want to say forced to do it, but kind of, because that's, I don't know if you're getting any GMs to say, yeah, I would like to see that whole thing happen.
We updated the Hard Knocks resolution last year at the league meetings, and that the off-season show was not contemplated in that updated resolution. I know you like when we use the $3 words, Mac.
Yeah, I love that. It's anytime you talk about at the meetings too, we have behind closed doors conversations, and there was politicking for this and for that. I understand how the game has to go. There's a lot of money on the line. So you're saying there is a chance we have this back, or are we definitely having it back?
There's definitely a chance. We hope it's back. We're talking to a bunch of teams about it, but we'll see what happens. I mean, we need a willing participant on that one. We're not going to force someone to do that show.
Okay, if you got your shit together, I think you should do it, because you could sell yourself and your program and your brand as an actual coming off of what happened last time. Can't be worse. Cannot be worse.
I don't know.
Let's go back a second though. What did we see? We saw the owner tell his general manager, here's my opinion on what I would like to do, but I hired you to do a job. You make the decision and do the job with all the information that you and your staff compile. So we saw an NFL owner do the thing that all of us as fans ask our favorite owners to do. It didn't work out. We all know that now. But at the time, it was hard to argue with a decision where, you don't really have an offensive line. The quarterback situation's unsettled. You have so many holes to fill. You really want to pay $13 million a year to a running back when you've been doing that with that running back for 5 years already and not had a lot of success?
Yeah.
Like, we can debate it, and I think, obviously everybody has, and everybody's got an opinion, and it's hindsight is really easy in this scenario.
I got you. Yeah,
But
because
show.
Go ahead.
That show was about a process. And I think it's really cool to have been able to make a show about, hey, we're going to start in January and we're going to have an endpoint after the draft. And you're going to see how a group of people faced with really difficult decisions goes about making those decisions.
Yeah.
And to be able to make that, the people who have talked the most about that show are like business executives. Because I don't know that there's ever been a show on television, an unscripted show that showed a process that comprehensively from start to finish.
Yeah.
And we're proud that we did it. I think fans responded to it in real time before they knew what was going to happen. You guys, everybody saw it and it was a wow kind of a moment on TV and in our world in sports TV. And like I said, I think it's amazing that the Giants had the guts to do it.
Agreed.
I think they should stand behind, and they have stood behind the decisions they made. I'm glad they're running it back and giving Joe Shane a chance to run another draft and another offseason, because I think what we saw is a guy who has a good process and does have a shot of succeeding. There's a lot of luck involved. You guys all know that. You're NFL guys.
Yeah, a lot of luck, and some places seemingly have more luck than others on a regular basis. But us getting a chance to see that for the first time, and you talked about the moment in real-time reaction, it felt like the first training camp Hard Knocks when it came out. That's how people reacted to the first training camp Hard Knocks, because that was the first time we were getting to see anybody's process. There's obviously fantasy football, and there's thoughts, and there's documentaries on how things go. But actually getting into the meeting, being in the room where it happens, where a decision is being made on what the strategy strategy of the roster construction is going to be. Because in your show, he actually said, we got to find out if this quarterback's worth $40 million or not. Like, we have to find that out. And I think that was an actual legitimate thought, like, from the entire, hey, we got this guy, we paid this guy. We have to find out if he's a guy or not, which was a part of the decision that they're making. He's on the Vikings now. He's on the Minnesota Vikings. So they forgot their answer. So I assume that's why ownership was like, we wanted to find out if he's a guy. He's not a guy, which is why he potentially ran it back with him. But if you're another GM with the reaction that it was to that, because it was our first time seeing how that shit goes, if you're very confident in your shit and like you have success, I think you should feel very comfortable doing that because people are intrigued by this because we don't know much about it. And the local social media teams would never put any of this shit out because they wouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, and to Joe Shane's credit, too, Tyrone Tracy Jr. ended up being an unbelievable running back, the guy he drafted in, like, the 5th round.
And Singletary is moving a little bit, too, you know.
Well, I didn't mention him.
At the beginning, I saw him.
Yeah.
They should make the Raiders do it next year. I know there's, like, the, first-year thing, but, like, Brady's involvement and everything, like...
They said he can't make anybody do it. That's what they said, right? You know what you said? He can't make anybody do it?
Make the Raiders do it. Go talk to Goodell and say, hey, guess what? You guys have stunk for the last 15 years. You're going to do this.
Well,
what's the worst thing that can happen? Oh, you're going to stink again.
They don't want to strong arm anybody.
Well,
that's not how the NFL operates, right, Keith? That ain't it.
But, well, now, if I may, because you had people on your show saying that, you know, I talked to the people at NFL Films and they were laughing at these guys, and we've got.
Were you?
Who said that?
Were you?
Who said
I'm
that?
not naming it. No, nobody here's laughing at anything that happened in New York. We thought they were going through a process.
Who threw NFL Films on our
They
bus?
were laughing. I did hear that.
Who did it on our show? Who did it on our show?
Everybody did.
Well,
no,
we said
that was the only time. That was the only time we got a little annoyed. Somebody went on your show and said, "Oh, the producers at NFL Films are
Orlovsky,
Lombardi, it was lava."
Had to be Lombardi. Yeah. Okay, all right.
He's in college now.
I think what we've created, though, I think the hardest thing for these types of shows, especially for Hard Knocks and in real time, is meme culture, right? Like you have a moment, like 2 weeks ago, Sam Darnold in the locker room, his teammates are all spraying water all over him, and and Kevin O'Connell's in the corner watching like a proud papa, and it was an incredible scene captured by the Vikings media guys and the NFL Films cameras. Amazing moment, right? And then 2 weeks later,
it's over.
You see how it turns out, and you know, I'm sure a week or two from now we'll see it. It'll be a meme now, right? Like we have a culture, and it's not anybody's fault. We all live in the same thing. We're all scrolling through our feeds, and we see the way things become memes. So nobody wants to become that next meme. And unfortunately for the Giants, it happened to them.
Yeah, certainly did. And memes are happening at all times. So, it's inevitable for all parties. But if you're going to look at decision-making processes that we've never seen before, obviously you're going to get memed. But I just saw what you're talking about, that clip getting memed. What if there is a Lou Holtz sighting at the field pass?
Boom.
For the national championship? And Lou Holtz hits a home run. What if Lou Holtz hits a home run for 4 straight quarters? All of a sudden, that meme, you got Lou Holtz up on there. With the boys that'll certainly be used a lot on the internet, I think, to hype up things.
Could be, yeah.
Is Lou Holtz going to be there? Do you know?
Once again, there are whispers that he will be there, but he's got a bum left leg right now. So he needs to get that figured out. If his leg feels better, he will be in Atlanta.
Yeah, we know if Lou Holtz can get there, Coach Lou Holtz can get there, he will get there.
Absolutely.
How'd he hurt his leg?
He's an old man.
Deadlifting.
It's cold outside.
It was like hooping or?
It is so cold outside.
Drop step
leg
dunk.
press, I believe.
Yeah.
He was leg pressing?
Yeah.
Nice. Walk down to Venice Beach down there, Muscle Beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Still working it.
Yep.
Boom.
I got one more bone to pick though. Now, first of all, Lou Holtz should be there. He can't do. I hope he can keep up with your play-by-play, McAfee. That was the best play-by-play call of the year.
Whoa! That was a. I saw a lot of people on the internet saying that. I was just
holy moly, awful announcings, writing articles, McAfee.
Yeah, positive.
People
Wow, that's
are
crazy.
talking.
That is crazy from them. Legitimately, that's pretty wild from them.
They've done a 180.
Now on Hard Knocks though, and I want your guys' opinion on this because I think we talk out of both sides of our mouths on this show. It's if Hard Knocks is boring, we have a boring training camp Hard Knocks, nothing edgy, we're not showing anything, then these shows are totally dictated and controlled by the teams. It's all propaganda. You don't need to watch it. It's bullshit. And then when we have a show like the Giants show, where it's great, you're seeing incredible shit that you've never seen before, and we're actually making groundbreaking television. These teams are so stupid.
Okay.
And so we have certain people in our sports media who shall remain nameless, certain aggregators and people like that, who have constructed a narrative where they can never be wrong.
Yeah.
You either are an idiot for letting NFL Films in your house shoot this and put it on TV, or NFL Films is just a propaganda machine, and we all know that, and none of what you're seeing is real. And the reality is that Hard Knocks is an awesome TV show, and that's why it's been on the air for 25 years.
Amen.
And like any TV show, there are good seasons, there are great seasons, and there are meh seasons. And it's based on, like, one season you have Chad Johnson, one season you have Rex Ryan. This season we have Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, and defensive players of the year up and down the line, and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and Lamar. It's
cities
incredible.
and stories and rivalries and
It's a TV show, and it happens to show more things that you don't get to see anywhere else than any TV show in this business, and it does it in real time. 2 days after the game's on.
Even one day after the game. Remember, after Monday night, there was a Bengals clip on a Tuesday night show, somehow from the Monday night. And I know how much all hands on deck panic there is day of getting those shows on air, too, because of how much, especially with 4 teams. You have 4 different groups, right, with each individual team, and then those teams all have thousands and hundreds of hours of shit, and then they got to roll it down, and then it comes, and then, we appreciate the amount of work that goes on over there. And I appreciate the fact that you're keeping up with the haters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 28 seasons in.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
God, hey.
We don't, it's funny, we never talk about, we don't respond. We let, people.
NFL Films, could you imagine if NFL Films came in?
Please.
Take the high road. This is, I've never, Ross and I were talking earlier. I said, I think I need to say some things.
I appreciate that you're doing it, because we've obviously known you guys for years. Hilarious moments of our, business relationship and personal relationships with all parties involved over there. Hilarious.
Some of my favorites. The best.
Maybe some of the
best moments I've had in the last 5 years are when McAfee is telling me things in no uncertain terms.
No uncertain terms. I love the way that's being described. One of our greatest moments in the Thunderdome. I was not happy with NFL Films. Okay, I thought we had a good partnership going. Let's get on the horn here immediately. And I felt comfortable enough with you guys because you're football people. I think that's another thing that's a big deal. Like a lot of places, not all places, a lot of places hire a social media person or a digital team that isn't football, that aren't football people. They don't know football. They don't love football. They don't live football. So I think they kind of get caught not knowing ball in certain situations, especially on the internet. You are all diehard football people. So when I chit chat with you, it does feel like I'm just talking to like one of the boys.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this can't be happening. And you guys have been so good to us, legitimately. And I appreciate the fact that you've remained humans over there. Because the NFL is this massive machine. You're in everything. You're in Netflix. Mm-hmm. You're on obviously HBO, Mox. You got stuff on ESPN. You got stuff on Amazon.
Yep.
You got stuff. Every streaming platform you guys are doing business with and crushing it. It's a lot of shit you guys do, and you're talented content creators.
Yeah.
If you guys were considered modern age, you're great content creators. I think personally.
Thank you.
Good work ethic too. You're not a bunch of lazy punks. I think that's a big deal too.
No, the people that are working here right now, and you can see it on their faces and in the bags under their eyes right now. Like I said, this is the hardest we've ever worked this month right now. It's not doing this show. It is a total privilege for us. Are you shitting me? We're at NFL Films, and we're getting to do something we love, and we're filmmakers who love football. It's in the title, NFL Films, and we get to document careers like AJ's and yours, and Darius's. And Darius is here. I saw Darius a few weeks ago in the studio back
every week. Yep.
Jeez, Keith.
It's really an amazing place. You go downstairs today, and Coach Belichick's down there with Ryan Clark and Chris Long and Chad shooting inside the NFL. And right now, Kelsey's down in the studio rehearsing for Friday night's episode of, they call it Late Night. But, already today, what we're figuring out is, in the middle of all that, all right, now we're going to make a show about the Ravens this week.
Can't wait to watch. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. You're the best. Thank you for taking time.
I love you guys. Thanks for having us.
We love you too, man. Keep doing it over there. Keep doing it over there. And tell Ross he's a good guy.
He's the best. We'll see you in New Orleans, maybe.
Oh, yeah, Super Bowl. I forgot that's happening.
Coming. Oh, yeah. Less than a month.
Few weeks.
Yeah, the Rumble.
Hey, you hated it, them taking Super out of Super Wildcard weekend?
No. It run its course.
What the fuck?
Go to hell.
Keith, you're wrong, Keith. Bad way to end this, brother.
Yeah, bad answer.
The fuck?
Why? Because Super Bowl? That's why? Super Bowl? There's only one thing Super is a bowl, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't just Super Wild Card Weekend. It was
tell you what.
Super Wild Card Weekend.
I forgot there's 3 U's.
Exactly.
And the Super Bowl is super because it's so fucking massive.
Yeah.
Super Wild Card Weekend super because of how super it is.
Yeah, because it's a super experience.
Yeah.
Nothing super about this Wild Card Weekend now.
Jeez.
Oh.
Bucks Commanders was a banger.
Bucks Commanders, that was a great game. Good performances. We need 4 good games this week.
Performances and crop and not super.
They're all
filmmaker.
super.
These are filmmakers right here. And
this guy.
And we're lucky that you're doing it for the NFL. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Costro.
Yay!
Keith Costro, friend of the program.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's had to do battle for us a couple times, obviously.
Good lad.
Throughout our relationship with the NFL over the last few years. I negotiated the first ever social media rights so we could air their footage on our show on digitally, just strictly digitally. Because a lot of networks obviously get digital rights whenever they air games, and then they get daily content for their TV shows. But whenever they post it on social media, they would have to put a picture over the footage because they didn't have digital or social media rights to it. Now, I felt obligated because our show is an NFL show, and our show had the presence it had in football when it was just on the internet, which we are incredibly thankful for and appreciative of. But I felt obligated, like, hey, I'm using your shit. I feel like I should pay you for this. I feel like this should be a working relationship, like you guys can help us. So we negotiated a deal. It was the first ever, yada, yada. It was pretty cool. Then obviously you look around the internet and everybody's just stealing their shit, like literally just stealing their clips, putting it out there. Talking a lot of shit against the NFL, which he was talking about, narratives and everything like that. And it's like, oh, I'm not, what are we? And they're like, well, we tried playing whack-a-mole. It's just not possible with how everything's going. So, like, our relationship with the NFL has literally, in NFL Films, has molded so much. We've been through a lot of things together. They've always been good to us. And they care about the NFL, man. Mm-hmm. They really...
They protect the shield.
A lot. I mean, that is like, they feel like they are serving the NFL, basically. Like, hey, we are here. And that's the Sables passed it down, obviously, in this entirety. So
the best.
They're good to us.
When it comes to, like, the major leagues, like, if you think about, baseball or basketball, hockey, like, the NFL, they had Hank Strom, all those years ago, Chiefs, JJ said that they matriculating the ball down the field. Like, you look at that, like, the quality on that, the audio, the visual on that, and then obviously all the way up until now, like, class of their own.
It's not crop when they make it.
No.
Not crop. They got their hands on a lot of stuff, though.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the NFL, they said, is that Tuesday nights now? It was Friday nights? I see the clips.
Not sure.
I see the clips.
I mean, they just throw Kelsey's late night show on top of everything. Like, how many do they have to hire? A lot more people, and all these different teams they're covering now.
And then everything Bill does is through the
Mm-hmm.
NFL Films people.
Sure sounds like no one's signing up for the Giants type Hard Knocks, though.
Said if you can maybe get the word out there, we're trying to do this. You guys reach out to GMs, Bean would be awesome on there up in Buffalo.
Yeah, Bean, Veach.
They seemingly got their culture already figured out. But I think Bills fans would be like, we don't need to be telling everybody.
Think how paranoid everybody is. Most people in the NFL are so paranoid. They don't want their process out there.
That might be why Mara gave Shane and Dable another opportunity. Like, hey, you guys didn't really have a chance. You had cameras in every fucking room. I mean, the Giants were certainly on display front and center for a brand new show, but we looked like the worst people on earth. And I assume you guys were acting a little differently, potentially, because there's a camera, PTZ, pan, tilt, zoom. They can catch the entire room staring at you as you're about to, all right, I got faith that you're not going to fucking air me out here. Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. What did they leave off?
Great question.
I can't imagine.
I mean, when they're having personal conversations, like when you call your wife on the phone, like the camera's still there. I guarantee you it's not going off.
So you got in a bathroom? Because that's like the classic.
They can at least hear it. I'm sure they could hear it. If they have an exec has a bathroom right off his office, you can at least hear the dump going through the door.
Yeah.
They were blasting music at times. But then in one episode, Dable started playing music on his phone, and then NFL Films just like got the rights and started playing the song. So
Keith
didn't
Costner
really
said, "Oh, is that right? Check.
Good move.
Check, mate. We'll run it." It actually makes the scene much better. Thank you for that. I love that he said, some of these teams are kind of obligated, mandated to be a part of it. We're not welcomed guests in a lot of these places. Think about just having to talk to all those football people. Hey, everything you say and do is going to be monitored by somebody in a truck out here. Do your thing, then walking out.
It's so true.
Have you done a Hard Knocks?
I did an all or nothing.
With the Cardinals
With
on
the Cardinals.
Prime. Which is what they were referring to about doing the in-season
It's the same thing, and like literally the players are like doing this to the camera. I was like, they don't want, like nobody wants them there. Nobody wants them.
The in-season they didn't either. Like a few of those teams when people make comments like, yeah, I mean they have to be there. So
And AJ's so right about the paranoid stuff. Like you think about how many times you've been at practice and just like a Southwest flight goes over top you, and they're like, "Who's that? They filming?"
Yep.
Helicopters. Are they filming? Who is that?
Yep.
Like,
shoot them down.
That's what it is.
Jeez Louise. I don't know about
I'm saying
Southwest flights.
coaches.
Those low, those
Oh yeah.
little Cessna ones.
Oh yeah.
Helicopter.
Yeah, chopper goes overhead. What is that? Hot
That's
air
definitely
balloon?
the Chiefs, right? Chiefs are definitely filming us there.
Bill Belichick's using a hot air balloon. We're onto your shit. Shut the practice down. It's going inside. Let's get a roof on this thing. We got eyes overhead. A couple bogeys watching in from another NFL team. And instead, NFL Films goes, "We got you. We're going to film everything. Nobody else will film it. We'll film it." And then they're the only ones that have access to the vault. So, like, they're the ones making a lot of decisions. I think somebody was going to ask about being mic'd up in those decisions. Whenever he said we followed your career to me, I was like, I never was mic'd up. Was asked one time, and I said, no chance, please. No, I don't want to. And there's not a lot of players that just want to be mic'd up.
So centers have to be either center or quarterback or
For the
center
TV,
or guard.
though.
Yeah, it's for TV. Yeah, for sure.
So you're mic'd up every time I've talked to you on the sideline? Great.
Well,
Thanks for doing the whole.
Gotta let 'em know.
Yeah.
it's just automatic.
Yeah, of course. So I guess I should remember that in the moment about your life.
Well, now you know.
Hughes
Every
never gave us
center.
the-
Not one time.
Well, it's not through the team. It's
today.
just automatic through the league. It's like narc. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so great.
Think about how many things I've said.
Oh, I know. I'm not worried.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm worried. Exactly. That is the thing that everybody says about NFL Films is like they got everything. They got everything on everybody.
Oh yeah. But when
You're mic'd up and you say this coach sucks.
Oh yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Imagine they just clip that, send that to the coach. This general manager, what a fucking doofus. Why is this guy playing? Boom.
How about the coaches that are always mic'd up in these big games? Now you find out later, like if I was the coach, I don't want to be mic'd up and like have them hear what I'm saying in the locker room and the sidelines. Like you say some irrational stuff in the heat of competition that you probably don't mean, but it might sound weird out of context.
Amen.
When the Patriots played the Giants 2 years ago, Jabril Peppers went up to Saquon and he said, because Saquon was mic'd up, he said, you guys are lucky we're ass this year. And that was a huge deal in New England because of the fact that, Jabril Peppers is basically saying, yeah, we fucking stink. And people were so pissed that got out. And if you think about the scale of things that could be said, that's nothing compared to what some shit might be said about, a coach or a GM or an owner or something like that.
The ghost thing with Sam Darnold, was that Monday Night Football?
They hated that.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, NFL Films, because live in real time, NFL Films, there's always an NFL Films representative whenever things are happening, whenever deals are getting done or a broadcast is taking place. I assume live in a moment, that getting out immediately afterwards, can we run some shit by it? What do we... Yeah, they don't like making people look bad.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that in-season or off-season with the Giants made everybody... I like his sell. They're talking about his process. And in the moment... You can debate whether or not it was a good decision. There's people that say it was a good decision. I'm like, it wasn't. We saw.
Yeah.
I know he said they didn't like how the in-season ended, but as a fan, I liked watching, after the Dolphins lost, I was super pissed off. But then you watch that the week after, and it was a cool wrap-up of the season.
Yeah, they're going to make magic. Hey, congrats, NFL Films. You did your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Continuing to do it.
Yeah, still bringing it.
Bringing booms all the time. I love that Lombo gets on this show and just fucking pisses off everybody. I love it.
He's also at NFL Films with Belichick doing that podcast every week. So
Lombo's looking in the back.
Yeah.
I saw somebody laugh. I'm gonna say that. I mean, seriously.
Seriously, you got fucking producers laughing every day. What you expect?
And then the NFL Films people are like, Lombo, what?
We're not laughing.
Let you in the building. We're laughing at something completely different. We're doing a comedy. We're doing a comedy in here. And Lombo, sorry.
Yeah, filming late night or whatever the fuck Jason Kelsey's late night show's called.
Late Night Live, right?
No,
They call it
late night.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't see the second one. I missed the second episode. I only saw the first.
I saw some clips. I think Kylie was sick.
Yeah, Bo Allen. Fill it in.
Bo legend, right?
Yeah, he's
Bo's
a
a
monster.
legend. Yeah.
Bo's a monster.
Absolute legend. Saw some clips. I think I appreciate the late night. I do. But I think a lot of people are probably just watching clips of this thing, which is what all late night television kind of became. Late night television has become clips for YouTube to live forever. Back in the day, late night was very, very important. I actually wrote a paper and did research on late night television as a whole in college whenever I was interning at Mountaineer Sports Network with Murph, rest in peace, absolute legend over there in West Virginia. All the way back to Johnny Carson and all the decisions that were made, Cohen, Jay Leno, the whole thing, all of it. Yeah, I really researched it because I thought it was awesome. Because I remember I wasn't somebody that could fall asleep easy, so I watched late night on a very regular basis. I appreciated the way Letterman was able to interview and Craig Ferguson was off the cuff, seemingly he ripped up the paper and throw it out and everything. I appreciated the zaniness, the entertainment level. The interviews used to actually be like conversations as opposed to scripted Q&As that, lead to absolutely nothing. And the market used to be like you needed to watch these shows to see certain things. Now with the way social media is kind of just taken over and content is everywhere, it's like they understand that. And obviously there's a live audience for it who are going to watch their late night or late night or whatever it is because they've done it or they're not good sleepers or they're up late at night. But a majority of that is just trying to make clips, just trying to create clips. And I think that's how I'm falling. They call it late night with Jason Kelsey. But Friday 1 a.m. is a tough time slot.
Without a doubt.
Has a tough time slot live, if that's what it is. But I think he always wanted to be a late night show host, which completely makes sense because what late night show used to be. So I respect and appreciate that Jason Kelsey's doing it. I think he's a guy that can do it. And obviously I assume he's enjoying the shit out of it because you're doing a lot of shit that you don't normally do in the football world.
Saw it on ESPN Plus, like when I went to watch the Bruins game, I saw the tab of
to
it
watch
too.
back.
To watch back, yeah. So there's still other ways to do it.
Which is also good.
Yes.
Yeah, watching it back. What's that called? On demand, yeah.
Like I don't know if they put it on Disney Plus. Like they should put it there too.
It is. I've seen it on there.
And I think they put it on his YouTube.
Yep, they do.
Yeah, so everybody's talking about like the live times at 1 a.m. It's like that's going to be a tough spot to ever get. I think in this modern age, I think that's going to be a tough spot. But all the other shit, getting access to it is the only thing that matters. And I've seen clips. I enjoy the fact that he's doing it.
Yes.
It's like Peyton. Peyton does so much shit.
Yeah.
How about they're doing the Kick of Destiny?
Yep.
Yeah.
Peyton with a mustache doing the whole act.
They look awesome.
Yeah, he'll go all in. They will go all in on some shit. They're not scared.
No.
What happened last year? Did Gronk make the kick last year?
I don't think he's made it yet.
What's the one that looked like he made it? When was that? He looked
First
like he
one.
made it, but he didn't. That was the first one.
That was Arizona. Yeah, pickleball. When we were
Out in the
doing-
middle of the desert.
Yeah.
That thing looked like it was good, and then
They
Okay.
celebrated.
They did.
Everyone went fucking nuts.
it was 5 big booms.
It was
Yeah.
5 big
was.
booms from the Gronks.
And then real quick from the opposite side, the refs.
Oh no.
I think, I missed this one.
And Vinny trained him last year.
And everybody said, dude.
He did.
Yeah, Vinny was there.
Yeah.
He's on, let's go, Gronk. He missed. Eli will make it. I've seen Eli hit a golf ball.
Yeah.
I think he can make the kick.
They should have AJ Bufumo kick it.
Who's that?
Costco guy.
Big boom
Costco,
AJ.
right?
Big Boom AJ.
Big Costco?
They should have him kick it.
Is he back? Is he off IR?
Yeah.
He has broken foot. Remember, wrestled.
I don't know if he still does. I think he's got Wolverine blood. I think he's pretty quick
Of
healer.
course.
I don't know which one you're talking about. Are you talking about the dad or the son?
Big Costco.
Big Costco.
Yeah.
How's he still bringing it?
Still
Oh, yeah.
bringing it. I
there's
think they need to kind of triangulate and tighten up the cameos that they decide to send to people. But outside of that,
I saw that one about the brother.
Oh yeah.
yep.
Pretty awesome. I believe there's a new song.
Have you seen it?
I didn't see that one.
I have not. What do you mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if it was a family member. I think it was brother.
It was
Yeah.
brother.
Oh.
So sorry to hear about your brother who just passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
And there's your cameo.
And then that's video,
$500.
Yeah, that video has been taken and used for other tweets on X.
Yeah. So
they got a new song coming out today.
Some of those cameos, can't wait.
Today.
First of all, can't wait.
Today, I believe it's called.
Still
breaking it?
No, breaking the boom meter. I think it's called.
Oh, okay, sweet. I can't wait to hear it. I do appreciate that. The people on Cameo, I think they should be a little bit more selective on what they,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Cameo has got people. The out of context, yeah, just a little bit more.
Get a request, they got to do it though. Get a request, they want to do it. I guess.
Yeah, I've seen too many cameos that I don't think I was supposed to see, and that's part of the problem. Good gimmick though, Cameo had there for a bit. Are they still bringing it?
Still bringing
I think they're still bringing it.
Oh yeah.
What's old
They
buddy's
are.
name that was professional cameo?
Baumgartner. Brian Baumgartner's killing it on there still.
The lives have definitely hurt them though, because like you can just go on to like a live stream and pay them to say something.
Interesting. So it's immediate. It's not going through the whole process.
Bingo, yeah.
Speaking of live streaming, you see Speed did a backflip
On the hand of God.
Is that real? That was real?
I think it is. With him, that dude is so athletic. He is so fucking athletic.
Yeah.
It is absurd how athletic that dude is. Just watching him, he's trying different shit, obviously. He's a full send guy all the time. I'm not full send the group. He's 100 miles an hour all the time. I respect and appreciate it. Do you know how much juice you have to just to be streamed, just like sitting there? Him and Kai, what they're doing, I think they're the ones that introduced me to it. I assume there's been other video game streamers that have obviously existed, but just doing life and being streamed, like, obviously it could be green screen, but the amount of people that have posted this, I don't think so. And with how athletic this dude is,
It's real.
Yeah, exactly. I believe it's real. And they're fucking weapons. But I think there's a lot of people that are going to be like, I'm going to be a streamer. It's like, Speed is special.
And then they're gonna fall right off the hand and die. Unfortunately.
That was that selfie. What was that? The planking thing got a lot of people. Remember, there's people planking on shit dying. And then there was there was some
selfie got the top of the building or something, right?
people started falling off. What was the other one? The Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
People were walking right off fucking cliffs.
Grand Canyon.
What?
Couldn't get them.
That's on them. That's on them.
Well, all these things people would
fair.
say. What was the TikTok? There was a TikTok where people were next to trains or something. Which once again,
Like
Yeah.
laying
once again,
on train tracks.
Who do you think started that trend? Fucking
Xi
Xi
Jinping.
Jinping. Thank you.
TikTok's over Sunday. We're bringing it up so much, just like we have been bringing it up for like a couple months, because we're saying, hey, somebody's got to figure this out. Somebody with a lot of money. It's going to take a while to give the amount of money that it's going to take. That generation might just blow up.
But you're buying it from China. Is China going to actually give total control?
I think they would have to, right? To exist. I don't know why.
Okay.
They'll always have a back door.
It's the coding.
What are you saying? Okay.
I'm with
Well, you
you.
don't believe
I'm just saying, what do you say if you're so worried that they're spying and all this stuff? You're telling me, hey, you find some guy with $50 billion, some group. China's like, okay, here you go. You have all the keys.
know what?
We don't
You're
have
right.
any control of any of it.
that'd be cool then.
It would be.
That's good business.
That'd be nice. That seems like they would do that.
China does that. Yeah.
What are you saying? There's no answers? No. Is that what you guys are saying?
I'm saying TikTok's gone, and I'm pumped.
It's not.
Fuck talk.
How many users?
What?
Not talk. Fuck TikTok.
All right. You're saying potential what it's doing on behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Not all the people that are on TikTok.
Oh, no.
Not our beloved.
No, not our beloved talk of Fairfield Stag alumni. I'm saying more so what it could be doing.
It's in black and white.
Look at that. Look at that.
Black and white. Change the hands to
Look at what that
midnight.
means.
Yeah.
Memorialize
RIP
them
on the back.
already.
I don't know.
5 big RI booms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Boom.
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 Rest in booms.
Rest the boobs.
All right, Reels. Let's get it going. Let's get it going, Reels. Need ya. Remember back in the day when everybody was a social media expert? If you actually have a longer video like this, you take up more space on a timeline, it's more likely that they'll stop and watch your video. So instead of the square one, kind of make the more longer one. If you could do that, that'll actually work. And my only answer was, can all these platforms just fucking get together and say we need one dim for all of it?
Yep.
I'm like, no, that's what makes it special and obvious. Okay. Thank you so much. Speaking of special, all year we've been able to ride alongside a super offensive line brain as we were judging the top 5 offensive lines each week. Not over their work as a whole, just the performance from the previous weekend. Then there was a top 5 O-lines of the entire season. And congratulations to the
Philadelphia
Eagles offensive line that won the Trenchy. The long-haired Trenchy.
That's right. The coolest one.
And now we will go to the official power rankings of the authority on offensive line play. Let's go to the OG in the trenches power rankings of all the offensive lines still left in the NFL playoffs.
Okay.
Hey, Kush, can you break down this power rankings for us, please?
Absolutely. We will start with the worst of the remaining teams. That is the Houston Texans.
Top 8 team in the NFL.
Yes, they are. But the Houston Texans have been running the ball, not because of their offensive line, but because their running back is damn good in spite of their offensive line.
Okay, so the Texans, obviously, number 8. Then you got the Commanders. That's a big win. They just got to get the Bucs.
Big win. They had 30 yards rushing. Now, some of that might have to do with the fact that the Bucs defensive line pretty damn good, but this has been a trend the last half of the season, and they've gotten away from running the football. Sam Cosmi, right guard, pretty good player, struggled a little bit the last couple weeks in pass protection. I'm a little worried about the old Commanders against the Lions.
Los Angeles Rams come in at 6th. Puka said he messed up that play, that whole thing happened. Was that the determiner? Was that particular play for the offensive line? Because Puka said that was on him, not the big boy.
Yeah, that was not on the left tackle. Puka definitely took out half the line, but that's okay. The Rams actually have been playing better. They typically only run one scheme, and it's duo, so you're getting 2 yards in a cloud of dust almost every single play.
Okay, so let's go to number 5. They're back-to-back Super Bowl champion Chiefs offensive line, getting some love. Wow.
Yeah, they're there because of their interior 3. Now, granted, Tooney moves out to left tackle, but I love Tooney. I love Creed Humphrey. I love Trey Smith. They got Tooney out to left tackle. Concerns me a little bit. They got Taylor at right tackle. Don't love the tackles. I think that is going to be their kryptonite like it was in 2020.
Okay, number 4 ranked offensive line here as we head into the division round. The Buffalo Bills offensive line. That's what we're talking about.
We got the Buffalo Bills. I think we got some clips of these final 4, the Buffalo Bills. Here's what I love about them. Deion Dawkins, we talk about him. Their whole offensive line pretty damn good. The reason they became great this year, Spencer Brown. Let's take a look at the right tackle here. Learning from Deion Dawkins. We talked about the chop. Boom. Throw his ass on the ground. Opens up great pass protection down the field. You get the big chunk play.
Okay, need to be able to protect if you want to get the explosive, which is the determining stat on this particular season, seemingly. Josh Allen can huck it everywhere if you give him the time. Obviously, the Bills' offensive line able to do that.
Fewest sacks allowed. That's why I wanted to showcase a pass protection rep.
Instead of a run, because you've judged everybody else on the run game. Okay, let's go to the number 3 offensive line remaining. You love this group, the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens. We got another clip here. You're going to take a look. You got Derrick Henry in the Wildcat. You got Likely lined up to his left, and then we're going to send Lamar Jackson in motion. You'll see it whenever Lamar goes in motion. DB over the top. There he goes. Just vacated a space. Derrick Henry in the open field. Stiff arm on Minka. Get the fuck out of here. Keep it moving.
Jeez, that's tough for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans to watch time and time again. But the run game is such a vital part of this Baltimore Ravens offense. Lamar's able to spin it too. So if you run well and you move bodies, they have to respect it, put bodies in the box, and then what, AQsh?
You run it at them.
No, you throw the ball outside.
No, you run it at them.
Okay, well, that's
we want to keep running the ball.
Yeah, and that's what the Ravens need to do going forward. But the run game has helped Lamar, I think, throwing, even though
100%.
Lamar's having his best
300 yards running, though. I just keep running
Okay, number 2 offensive line remaining in the divisional round.
The Detroit Lions with a first-round bye. They come in at number 2, and we pulled a clip from earlier in the season. Love this play against
All right.
the Indianapolis Colts. We got a zone play to the left.
Pro Bowlers out
Good jersey.
I love it. We got condensed splits over here. You're going to send St. Brown back across as a decoy. It holds the safety just enough, and you can run a truck through that big gaping hole.
They were the number 1 offensive line a lot of different weeks for your in the trenches. They weren't number 1 at the end of the season, though. Ragnar, the center's playing with a torn tit.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Penn
Dog.
Freak.
They've built through the offensive line. Jared Goff obviously reaping the benefit. And then the number 1 offensive line is the same offensive line that was the number 1 all year. The Philadelphia Eagles. How come?
Because they're so good across the board. Literally from left tackle to right tackle, they are so good. They got Pro Bowlers and All Pros almost everywhere. Replaced an All Pro center with another Pro Bowl center. So, I mean, they just got everybody clicking up front. And when you look at this clip, this was the final clip.
Who's filming this?
Cool.
Is this
Christ?
Some asshole.
What is going on with the?
Yeah,
we got Connor Stallion.
I'm getting. Check this play out. Okay,
I'm
here we
trying.
go. Yeah, as we get, we're gonna get there.
No, motion sickness.
Yeah,
What is
shaking in the middle
Michael
of the
J.
sea.
Fox.
Shaking in the middle of the sea. But check.
Jeez.
So this play right here, right? So if we go back to the beginning real quick, if we can. This is the play that we saw where he slid down and ended the game. But this play, the reason why I want to show this is what they love to do. They go two tights and they're going to go lead. So you're going to pull the backside guard, you're going to pull the backside wrapper, and he's going to kick out, wrap, boom. And then this is the hole. If you guys recall the 2 70-yard runs that he hit against the Rams earlier in the season, exact same play. That's their bread and butter.
Okay, they got a bread and butter, and they're able to be dominating every single week. Congrats to the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line being the number one offensive line remaining, and also the number one offensive line in the entire league this season in AQ Shipley's eyes. Now let's go to your top 8 power ranking teams, okay? And bang, at number 8 is the Commanders. Number 1 is the Ravens. Number 6 is the Eagles. What is that all about? What is that all about?
6.
Obviously, Ravens number 1 team left in AQ's eyes. Then the Lions, Bills, Chiefs, the back-to-back Super Bowl champs at 4. Rams, Eagles at 6, even though they're number 1 offensive line. I thought that's how we decide games. And then number 7, Texans, and number 8, the Commanders. Why are the Eagles at 6, even though the offensive line?
So you look at the Ravens, the Lions, the Bills, and the Chiefs. They were basically in that exact order, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then obviously the Eagles were at number 1. The reason I have the Eagles at number 1 is because offensive coordinator and quarterback.
At
they
number
are
6,
not,
you're saying Eagles
at number 6, I'm sorry. They are not on the same page. And so when I look at this, I don't think that whenever Jalen Hurts and this offensive coordinator and Kellen Moore have to win a game throwing the ball, I don't think their pass schemes are consistent enough, and I do not think the coordinator is calling enough consistent plays for them to win it, because in the playoffs, you can't just run the ball. You're going to have to win it with the quarterback at some point, and I think that is why. And, by the way, they're playing against a Rams team with McVay, who's going to come into town with a hell of a game plan. He's going to control the clock on offense, keep this offense off the field, and they're going to need to make plays, and that is why I have them there.
They got a great defensive line, even though the Eagles' offensive line is fantastic. We just saw the Rams' D-line young and hungry, and I heard they bark every time they get in the facility from Puka Nacua today. That's quite a fall from grace there for the Eagles, from their offensive line to the team that they're remaining. Commanders, number 8, you're saying they shouldn't have beat the Bucs, or you're just saying it's a tough spot to beat them and the Texans?
Tough spot. I mean, they're 7-8 between Texans, Commanders. It's just, I mean, now the Commanders got to go play the Lions. Good luck.
Whew. Congratulations to all these teams being the final 8.
I do think the winner of that Ravens-Bills team goes to the Super Bowl out of the AFC.
Wow. No longer a three-peat on the desk.
I do not see it.
I sure hope so.
Why? Because you don't want them to do something that the Patriots weren't able to do?
You nailed it.
I like
Selfish reasons.
Well, I mean, 3 in 5 years.
What are you saying?
I like witnessing history.
Me too.
Me too. Me too.
I don't mind greatness.
Wouldn't hate seeing it. I would just prefer, one of those other 4 teams to win. I think it'd be cool.
What is your guys' thoughts on me putting the Eagles at 6?
I thought that was like quite a shot at exactly what you said.
Yeah,
Because if you think the
despicable.
offensive line is number 1, and you say it's all pros across the board, literally all season the conversation has been whoever has the best offensive line is going to win the game. That's kind of how it's been. And then you drop them, not to 2, not to 3, not to 4, not to 5, to number 6. You're basically saying the offensive line can win the goddamn whole thing, but everything else needs to figure out. That's what I thought it was going to be.
That's exactly where I went.
Yeah,
that was a shocker, though, wasn't it? Whenever we saw these graphics,
Dano, does that go in with what Dano said, that he doesn't blame the receivers for not getting open? He blames Jalen and the coordinator.
I think that's a lot to do with it. I think when you watch the film, that's the thing that jumps out at you. And I'm also playing into the fact that the Rams and McVay are coming to town, and McVay's an absolute genius. You give him 2 weeks to prepare. He definitely was preparing for this matchup as he rested the starters in week 18.
How about the Philadelphia Eagles fans, though?
Yeah.
They're ready for a Super Bowl. No.
Yeah.
The fans are awesome. The fans are awesome.
Well,
their offensive line is awesome. Their running back is awesome. Their receivers.
Defense.
Fans aren't awesome.
Defense is unbelievable.
Well, there's one particular fan who no longer has a job.
I've heard about that as well.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Hey.
Jeez Louise.
That's bad mojo.
Big Dahn took care of him.
He did. Then he found out who he was, removed his employment from the place of work,
And his guts from
sent
his
the
stomach.
lady a bunch of Packers stuff.
Right. Removed his fucking heart from his chest, too.
I didn't know Big Dom did that in 2025. There's a chance.
No.
Allegedly.
Think about that guy. How many times in his life has he?
Oh,
So many.
so many.
That's just like that guy. What is he? A Baltimore Ravens fan?
Yeah.
He just started knocking people up. I never lose.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ. How many times has this guy done
Just
that?
put people to sleep.
Yeah. Now he's going to jail. I think he's going to jail.
10 years.
Yeah, long time.
Jail.
He better still be bringing it.
In jail?
Yeah.
He said he never loses. I think he's going to get tested. I think that record's up for grabs.
Yeah. He'll get some reps.
He certainly will. All right, speaking of reps, all season we've gotten smarter on the defensive side of the ball with a man who co-hosts every single Monday through Wednesday. He's also on the sideline during the field pass with us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Everything DB. Good D, bad D, out of regular ass wild card weekend with Darius Butler.
Here we go. So my 4 favorite plays from Super Wild Card.
Oh, I like that. We're back.
Weekend.
These
And
are super plays.
Yeah, good plays, 4 good ones, and then we got 1 bad D on here as well. First one, Derek Stingley Jr. made the all-everything DB team. This is him, quarters coverage across the back. You see the umbrella, and just watch him at the bottom of the screen. Double move. He takes a double move on top of it, gets his head back, just like last week when I showed some plays. Never panics with the ball in the air, and that's big for a cornerback. I love corners that kind of turn into the receiver, peeks, feels the receiver, head back, boom, goes up and gets it. This was one of his 2 interceptions. The second one was a tip. This one was kind of an underthrow, but he's in great position. I don't care where this ball was thrown. 24 was making a play on it. And his running mate, Kamari Lassiter, on the other side. In college, he only had 1 interception, I think I heard on the call. So rarely do guys that aren't ball hawks in college become ball hawks in the NFL, but he's been tremendous at getting his hands on the football here. You see Justin Herbert rolling out to his right, throwing across his body to Quentin Johnston, and he goes up, keeps his leverage. Yeah, keeps his leverage. So he's outside leverage, fake post corner, keeps his leverage, in phase, gets his head back, goes up, high point, snatches the ball out there.
Teach tape right there.
That's a combine drill.
Teach tape. Getting it. So obviously he did the tough part, and then finishing that play, creating that turnover, 1 of 4 interceptions. So shout out to Lassiter.
Hey,
Young guy
J.J.
doing-
Watt's talking about that defense. He's like very excited. You can see he's like very excited to talk about them. Both corners seem to be locked down. If you got that, you're in a great spot.
That helps tremendously, especially with the guys up front getting after the quarterback where they won't be comfortable. Potentially the only way they can win this game against the Chiefs is getting after Patrick Mahomes, exposing whoever's replacing Tooney inside, and then maybe Tooney on the outside.
Could you imagine if the Chiefs
got to get in the
I
game.
couldn't actually
lose to the Texans?
I can't.
Can't see it.
I cannot.
Did you watch that clip right there?
It was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
It was awesome.
And then Stingley just so natural. Just give me the ball.
And their pass rush,
very talented. D'Amico brings it.
Yes. Their offensive line is crap.
Absolutely stinks.
Just a little bit
Offensive
of a
line stinks.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. Defensively, tremendous.
With those Chiefs.
Oh, you're talking about just Andy Reid, the whole thing.
Talking about Pat Mahomes here.
Yeah.
Talking about Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I remember him stopping by the program the other day. Very kind of him.
That was awesome. Also, D-Hop revenge game. Just thought of that.
Definitely.
Chiefs against the Texans.
Bag of balls? Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
over to the Chargers?
Yep. David Johnson.
I knew they needed a washing machine. I called him up.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Moon. He needs to be, he's doing the elf.
Yeah.
He's doing the elf. He needs to just be Jackie Moon in every NBA game. The NBA should be paying him.
They should.
To just go to games. Ratings are down. Well, there's a chance Jackie Moon plays tonight.
How about that?
Fucking free corn dogs.
I'd go to every Pacers game.
Good idea.
We lose to the Cavaliers last night. I don't know if you saw it.
That's going to happen.
Yeah, especially without Tyrese. He'll be hella back, right?
Exactly. I wouldn't be worried about it to the playoffs.
Pacers are a hot team. Speaking of hot, let's go to some more good D on everything DB from Darius Butler.
Yeah, speaking of hot team, hot defense, Philadelphia Eagles, another great cornerback tandem here. You got Quinyon Mitchell down at the bottom. Quintana Mobay been locking shit up as a rookie. And then the old head, Triple OG, big play Slay on the other side. This is a teach tape rep. Just got a straight takeoff route, straight goal ball here. He's in position, off corner, little double move, sits, gets his head around, boop, falls right in his number 2. This is called leaning and locating. You see it here, boom, settles the feet, get back, feels it, wicks it a little on top, in phase. You see that little arm grab there, that little left arm grab, boom, little joust, get away with it, boom, catch it. That's a tough catch to make. Old head is still doing it at a high level. Slay is playing at a high level. Mitchell's playing at a high level. Cooper DeJean, all these guys on that back end are tied in. They did lose to Kobe Dean, which kind of showed some bad tackling, kind of showed up on tape once he left the game. So I'm interested to see who replaces him. Will they put Young Trotter in there, or forgot the guy who actually caused the fumble and opened the kickoff? He may replace him as well.
Okay, so is this just standard cover 2 here?
This is no. So down here, so down
Corner,
at the
corner.
bottom, so down at the bottom is some type of zone coverage. I'm not sure what the zone coverage is, but up top he is locked on. So pretty much man to man. If you right before the snap, Love motions that guy. So if you pause it here, now you got a 4x1. So a lot of times when you have zone coverages in the offense, Dano was talking about the 4x1. When they overload that side, a lot of times on the backside, you just lock that corner up. So regardless of what the other 10 guys are doing down here at the bottom of the screen, Slade's just on an island with Wicks. So it's just one-on-one, and they're doing some type of zone coverage down here.
What a play.
Great play.
Perfect.
Great
What
play.
a play.
Great position.
And also, Jordan Love, my guy, one-on-one. Let's go ahead and throw it up.
Yeah, fourth receiving option, throwing to him an awful lot. And I like Dontavian Wicks, but
What about Bo Melton? How was he?
yeah, same difference. Let's go fucking get a couple guys. Okay.
What? You guys need weapons?
Yeah, let's maybe get Tucker Kraft a little bit more involved.
From the Green Bay Packers, you guys need weapons? I didn't know. What are you talking about?
No, yeah, I mean, you got guys dropping like flies, and you know, in the playoffs, we can't be throwing the guys who were just called up from the practice squad. You just can't. You can't beat the Eagles that way. You think Coop DeJean's gonna get fucking burned by one of those guys? Absolutely not.
No, not speed on that guy.
Absolutely not.
And Blankenship, you think he's going to get outsmarted?
Exactly. He was fucking sticking and moving out there. Yeah, he was. He was.
All right, who else do we have on everything?
Those two guys on the everything DB watch list for next year.
Really?
Yeah. Preseason watch list, early preseason watch list.
Put them on the white list.
No. Just
No, the watch list. Sorry,
I
the
don't.
watch
I don't see color. I just see numbers.
Yeah, there's an absence of one, though, there for those guys.
All right, here we go. 3rd and 7. We got Chris Shula's young defense, LA Rams right here. Obviously had Sam Darnold in hell all afternoon. See Kobe Durant following Jordan Addison over in motion, and this is a great rep. Obviously pressure up front, but bad throw inside, but he did a great job. If you run it back one more time, actually you can see it from this copy. So this safety, he's going to drop in, insert, take away that in cut from Justin Jefferson. You got a crosser from Naylor who comes open, but because of that pressure, he never gets back to him. Bad throw, I think bad ball placement, but a great job by the young corner Durant to get his. He actually opened his hips inside and planted his foot, got back. Addison's not an easy cover, getting the coverage right, and then once again picking that ball off. Great play.
Are the Rams the real deal? Huh? Is that
Think
what
so.
we're learning today? I think so.
And Darnold?
What's that?
Yeah, the rough outing.
What do
You did. You called.
Darnold might be just like, hey, Kevin O'Connell's a really good coach.
What are your thoughts on Sam Darnold?
I think Dan nailed it when he said it earlier. He's not going to win you the game.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
I didn't expect that to go that way.
I think he's I think he's Geno Smith.
Chad's going to win. Getting the Orange Bowl champion.
I don't know if he's Geno Smith.
Wow.
I think Sam Darnold turned into a pumpkin. And guess what happens when you turn into a pumpkin? You don't come back.
9 sacks.
He got killed.
He got.
Let's not do the Orlovsky and blame everybody else when we've been pumping up Darnold all year about how great he is.
Have you heard the radio call from the Vikings guy?
Paul Allen?
Yeah.
I have not.
It is hilarious
Does he
because
say
he
throw the
is
ball?
screaming at Darnold to get rid of the ball over and over again.
He is a great play-by-play.
Awesome.
Paul
He
Allen.
also blamed Jay Glazer for the loss.
So he didn't blame Jay Glazer. He blamed whoever told Jay Glazer that Kevin O'Connell was potentially going to get traded on the day of the Detroit Lions number 1 NFC seed game matchup Sunday Night Football. He said that whoever decided to leak that or say that to Jay Glazer, shame on you. I think is his actual words. Shame on you for doing that, because there's people, I was there, that were like wondering, like, is Kevin O'Connell going to get is he fully committed? Is everybody all in? He did bring that up in his post. I think he hosts a radio show in town, Paul Allen on the PA on the mic. I listened to that clip and he was like, shame on whoever the fuck decided
Shame on you.
that on the biggest Sunday of this team's life, somebody needs to know that the head coach might be getting the fuck out of town after this. Shame on you, whoever it was. It's like, I can see how you would say that. I would also see how Kevin O'Connell had no idea that was potentially going to happen, and maybe an agent was like, yeah, I think it's about time we remember here that there's a contract due for somebody. That's just like classic chess on how this whole thing works.
I was shocked.
Me too.
That he was even going into the final year. I would have just assumed, we locked this guy up for another 5 years.
2030.
After last year.
And I think his agent was thinking the same thing. Like, what are we even doing here? With that being said, I just expected the players wouldn't care. But the way he was talking was like it was a real There's a real talking piece about it all.
Yeah.
Players would be okay.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I didn't think the players cared either.
Big little excuse train.
When I heard that, all I thought to myself was, "Wow, Kevin O'Connell's tradable." It's, I wonder who's all going to be interested in Kevin O'Connell. And then looked up his contract, find out it's up. It's like, okay, that's good business. I didn't even think one time it could be a distraction until Paul Allen said that on the show, and it's like maybe he was there, we were not. Age.
I guess. I mean, they know that their head coach is going to be there for the remainder of the season. They knew they weren't going to take him in 2 days.
What if Kevin O'Connell did the ultimate leverage play? I'm holding out tonight's game.
Good luck. Show up to the Lions game.
Enjoy the game.
Yep.
Show up. Don't put a hoodie on.
Yep.
Don't put the headset on.
Seeds.
I'm not putting it on. Sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Justin Jefferson sunglasses.
Huge chain.
Huge chain, yeah. Walking around not talking to anybody.
Yeah. Interesting call.
You want to get a deal done or not? You want to coach tonight or not? I don't think that's what he was doing.
No.
But it was a nice reminder that he has his deal is up. Yeah. They need to pay that guy.
A lot.
But give him a 6-year deal.
That makes
maybe,
everyone look.
Maybe a 10-year.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like you got it right with him. Will they be able to win a Super Bowl, though? Can he win a Super Bowl? We'll never find out.
Not with Darnold.
Jeez. What about that offensive line?
Well, you saw. I wrote it earlier. They need a lot of upgrades on the offensive line in Minnesota.
Which
Darisaw got hurt.
That just speaks even more volumes as to why Kevin O'Connell deserves to be paid.
Yeah, but also Sam Darnold maybe shouldn't be judged as hard.
Yeah, agree. But you can't hold on to the ball like that. You can't take 9 sacks.
Take 9 sacks.
Yeah.
You
How
guys
many
are
think are
letting
on
up.
him?
You guys are letting up 9
Guy
sacks.
was corkscrewing in the pocket.
I mean, there was numerous times when he was getting sacked at 5 seconds.
What is the how come
5 seconds?
How come that stat's not never talked about?
It should be. It's just all blamed on the offensive line.
Yeah, look at this guy get turned around like a turn.
I mean, how many times have I called you and been like, what are they talking about
Yeah,
here?
Dan,
Like,
that's how this whole thing started because
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky was doing a breakdown on how this was an offensive lineman's fault. And AQ said, you know how dumb Dano sounds on TV right now? And I'm not watching TV at the time, so he had to explain it to me. Then I watched it back, and he watched along with me. Let's watch this together. Then he explained how the center, actually, because it's on the left hash, he's looking over his center. The linebacker is off to his left, shaded to his left, so he actually doesn't count in the protection to the right. Dan doesn't know that, though. Dan doesn't know that at all. Yeah, you would like offensive linemen to stop getting blamed.
they get blamed for everything. And it's like so many times that, like, for instance, against the Vikings game the other night, Sam Darnold legitimately is standing in the pocket and hitch, trying to step up, move back. Like, at some point, throw the ball away.
Those
live to fight
guys got to
another down.
protect him. They got to give him more
You
time.
cannot
The guy
hold
needs
it
time for
forever.
the play to develop.
He was seeing ghosts.
Throw the ball
He
away.
was missing throws all
How about
over
when his
the
eyes?
show.
When they showed his eyes the one time, he was just like,
Fuck this.
where am I?
And they were dialing some shit up too. Like it wasn't simple. Like it was only rushing 4 most of the time, sometimes 5. But for Sam, he felt like it was 13 motherfuckers rushing him.
I'm happy to hear that we still have massive question marks with the Minnesota Vikings offense and at head coach, I guess. Are they going to get a deal done or not?
I don't know.
Maybe.
All right, let's go to the last everything DB, good D, bad D. Darius J. Butler, what do we have?
Last play, and this is unfortunately, best cornerback in the league right now, Patrick Surtain. Sometimes you have bad ones, and once again, another 4-by-1 situation. This one in man-to-man coverage. You'll see him and Riley Moss kind of communicating on who's on who. He's on Hollins. If you pause it here, so there's a little mix-up, and now he is in bad leverage. Just how Joe Brady and Josh Allen drew it up. Got Curtis Samuel running across the field away from his leverage, hits him in stride, and then hits the brakes on him. You never want that as DBs. You want to be able to tackle him so that you can defend every blade of grass. We saw this in the Texas-Ohio State game. Like, you get a guy down, you get it 1st and goal on a 1. You just got to be able to roll the ball out there and say, hey, we got to defend them, bow up, keep him out of the end zone. So you got to get him on the ground even when you give up a big play. But this play started with communication. If you just line up Samuel against Patrick Surtain, 9 times out of 10, Surtain's going to win that rep. But when you add in the formation, the motion, the communication, the hesitation of being in the wrong leverage, you get big plays like this. So great job from Joe Brady dialing it up, and then obviously Josh Allen executing and making the throw.
Hell yeah. Congrats to all the DBs all season that were on everything DB, good D. And sorry to all the DBs that were on bad D. But you're going to get got. You just got to get yours more than you get got those.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. And shout out to you, Darius. Great work.
Brother. You bet.
You too, AQ. All right, we're going to get the hell out of here on this glorious Wild Wednesday. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Remember, Monday night, we'll be on a sideline for the national championship. Another field pass, the last field pass, as Notre Dame takes on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Then obviously, we got massive divisional round ahead. We got a lot of shit to talk about, and we'll do more of it tomorrow. Dahn, why don't you come out of Hammer? Dahn. Join the squad here.
Get on out of here.
You know, today's show was so electrifying, actually, it blew out the lower left quadrant of the back wall.
That's right.
Wow. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is nice. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. We love this type of stuff. Too much electricity blows the panel. That's what we're looking to do every single day, and we can't thank you enough for allowing us to do it for a living. From all of us to all of you, you're the best. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Thank you for traveling out here, AQ.
Thanks for having me.
Great work, DB.
You too, Pat.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.